respected Director of Amity School of Engineering and Technology, Dr. Shashi Bhushan Sir, esteemed HOIs, revered faculty members, and dear students. A very cheerful and joyous good morning to all of you. On behalf of Amity University Patna, I would like to extend a warm greeting and welcome to all of you in the National HR Summit. The National HR Summit is being hosted by Amity Business School and Corporate Resource Center team of Amity University Patna. The morning is bright indeed because we are witnessing the presence of galaxy of luminaries as our distinguished guests. So we are overjoyed and awestruck by their presence. So let us welcome Ms. Brishti Mondal, Vice President, HR, Nomura Research Institute. Mr. Murli Sahu, Head HR Minds, ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel India. Mr. Anurag Kirti, Regional Lead, Global Campus Hiring Wipro. Mr. Praveen Lal, State HR Reliance Jio. Mr. Chaitanya, Associate Vice President, Ernst & Young. Mr. Chanjoy Nath, AGM and Circle Head, India Post Payments Bank, Patna. And Mr. Himansh Avasthi, HR Manager, Jindal Polyfilms. Once again, let us join our hands together for a joyous and thunderous applause for all. We are delighted that the students from several colleges of Patna are participating in today's program. So the students from Ellen Mishra Institute, Chandrugupta Institute of Management and CIMP, NIFT, Maulana Mazrul Arabi Farsi University, Patna Women's College, JD Women's College students, and AM College students. So, most welcome students. You are being proactive in grabbing the right opportunity to be part of National HR Summit. So, all of them deserve a huge, huge applause. We are fortunate that Assistant Professor from NIFT, Dr. Rishikesh Kumar is also there along with the students. So, are most welcome. Amity University Patna is another landmark university established by the Amity Education Group to revolutionize the Indian higher education through the provision of globally benchmarked, research-based and employment-oriented education. In keeping with the vision of Honorable Founder President of Amity Education Group, Dr. Ashok Chauhan Sir, and Honorable Chancellor, Amity University, Dr. Atul Chauhan Sir, of providing holistic education with industry interface, this HR Summit has been organized. Financial resources are the lifeblood of a company, but human resources are the brains. So the theme of Summit is Expanding Work Horizons, Hybrid, Inclusive, and Digital Interface. The Summit aims to provide a platform for HR professionals to discuss and explore the evolving landscape of work and the critical role of technology in fostering inclusivity and hybrid work environments. Hybrid work models offer employees the flexibility of work from both the office and remote locations. This flexibility can improve work-life balance and job satisfaction. Building a diverse workforce is essential for fostering innovation and creativity. Organizations must create inclusive policies and practices that accommodate employees of various backgrounds, abilities, and needs. Organizations are investing in robust digital infrastructure to support remote work, including high-speed internet and cloud-based collaboration tools. We can very well say that the expanded work horizons through hybrid work models, inclusivity, and digital interfaces is a strategic imperative for organizations in the modern world. So a convergence of students representatives from various Bihar colleges is what makes this summit special. These students will get an opportunity to interact with HR managers from leading organizations through open house. The students will be fortunate to hear the theme-based deliberations of esteemed intellectuals. The greatest asset of a company is its people. So we are fortunate to have the presence of greatest asset as the senior officials of various leading organizations amongst us. So we are honored by their presence. So let us have once again, huge applause. Thank you, and once again, I would like to extend heartiest welcome to everyone in the National HR Summit at Amity University, Patna. In our culture and tradition, we seek divine's blessing to mark the auspicious beginning of any event by the lamp lighting ceremony. Astu ma sadgamaya, tamso ma jyotirgamaya. O God, lead us from ignorance to knowledge, lead us from darkness to light. So let us pray through lamp lighting to sweep away the darkness of ignorance by the dawn of self-realization. So may I now request respected Deputy Controller of Examination, Dr. Sushil Kumar sir, respected Deputy Registrar sir, esteemed senior HRs, respected guests, kindly come on the dais.
Kurutvang kalyanam arogyam dhanasampada Shubham kurutvang kalyanam arogyam dhanasampada Shatru buddhi vinashaya Deepajyotir namostute Deepajyotir namostute Shubham kurutvang kalyanam arogyam dhanasampada 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 Shatru buddhi vinashaya Deepajyotir namostute Deepajyotir namostute Shubham kurutvang kalyanam arogyam dhanasampada 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 Shatru buddhi vinashaya Deepajyotir namostute Deepajyotir namostute Shubham kurutvang kalyanam arogyam dhanasampada Shubham kurutvang kalyanam arogyam dhanasampada
May I now request Dr. Sushil sir and Dr. Navneet Yadav sir to kindly felicitate the honorable guests. May I request Dr. Shashi Bhushan sir? May I request Ms. Drishti Mondol to kindly come on the dais for the felicitation. May I request Dr. Chaitanya, Associate Vice President, Answer Young. May I request Dr. Rekha Tiwari ma'am to kindly come for felicitation. May I request Mr. Praveen Lal, State HR Head Reliance Jio, to kindly come for Head Dr. Rashmi Shekhar ma'am to kindly felicitate the guest. May I now request Mr. Anurag Tikti, Regional Lead, Local Campus Hiring, Wipro. And may I now request Dr. Vinita Verma ma'am to kindly come to felicitate the guests. May I request Mr. Sanjoy Nath, AGM India Post Payments Bank, Patna, to kindly come for felicitation. And Mr. Srivastava ma'am, to kindly felicitate the guests. Thanks. Vakrutunda Mahakaya, Surya Koti Samaprabha, Nirvignam Kurume Deva, Sarvakareshu Sarvada. Let us invoke the blessings of God through a prayer dance by the students of MBA third semester students.
वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। गणनायकाय गणदैवताय गणाध्यक्षाय धीमहि गुणशरीराय गुणमण्डिताय गुणेशानाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि
एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि
गानचतुराय गानप्राणाय गानान्तरात्मने गानोत्सुकाय गानमत्ताय गानोत्सुकमनसे गुरुपूजिताय गुरुदैवताय गुरुकुलस्थायिने गुरुविक्रमाय गुह्यप्रवराय गुरवे गुणगुरवे गुरुदैत्यकलक्षेत्रे गुरुधर्मसदाराध्याय गुरुपुत्रपरित्रात्रे गुरुपाखण्डखण्डकाय गीतसाराय गीततत्त्वाय गीतगोत्राय धीमहि गूढगुल्फाय गन्धमत्ताय गोजयप्रदाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि
एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि
So that marked the auspicious beginning of our event. Now we begin the deliberation of the respected distinguished guests. We place a digital profile first, of Ms. Drishti Mondal, and then I'll invite her for a deliberation.
Miss Brishti Mondal, an HR transformation specialist.
Projector. Hello, projector. बस बस.
Miss Brishti Mondal, an HR transformation specialist with 20 years of experience, excels in driving business transformation. Her expertise spans strategic planning, organization alignment, cost optimization, workforce management, and learning and development. She is also a specialist in change management, mergers and acquisitions, and cultural integration across diverse locations. Miss Brishti Mondal brings a wealth of expertise to the table. She excels in nurturing organizational competency through ingenious learning and development strategies, ensuring that companies are equipped to thrive in dynamic environments. Furthermore, she is a staunch advocate for process automation and continuous improvement, streamlining operations for enhanced efficiency. With a proven track record of effectively managing diverse workforces across different cultures, Ms. Mondal possesses the skills to bridge gaps and foster collaboration. Her vision as a leader is characterized by a deep commitment to cultivating an equitable and inclusive workplace, where individuals are not only encouraged to grow but also to innovate, prioritize well-being, and find enrichment in their roles. Ma'am, Amity Business School welcomes you. Miss Brishti Mondal, an HR transformation specialist.
So may I now have the honor of inviting Ms. Drishti Mondal. She will be deliberating on the topic, the future of work, embracing hybrid models and leveraging technology for effective workforce.
A very good morning to all of you. It's a pleasure to be here. A very interesting topic, and I think it's a debate all organizations are going through. I think it's a challenge, right, and an opportunity, if I really call it. Okay, so hybrid workplace, I think all of you already know. And while we, talk about certain things, in the panel, I would really request the students to kind of participate. Right? So, if I talk about the hybrid workplace, we already know, we read about it, we talk about it, there's LinkedIn, and there's so much of, plethora of knowledge around, workplace, hybrid, work-life balance. There are so many things, and I'm sure the few key takeaways for hybrid workplace is work-life balance. Then you have, cost optimization, right? But there is a very, very element of that. Thank you. So there is an element of, constructive, intervention, I would say. Now, when we talk about hybrid workplace, We talk about, people either working from home, sometimes coming to office, or half day coming to office, half day working from home. So this has been a very advantageous, position for all the organizations, and especially for, the tech organizations like us, being able to concentrate a lot more on DEI. And I'm sure, students, know already what is DEI, diversity, equity, inclusive, There was a time we were very centered around, let's hire from East region, let's hire from, MP, let's hire from UP. It's difficult to get people from Bangalore or Pune, and, those were those typical, points we used to, struggle with. But right now, I think, it's a blessing in disguise. There has been a lot of, diverse workforce wherever, whichever organizations we are in, because we've been able to, capitalize on, intellects from all across India, across the globe. But there's a challenge here. While we talk about DEI and there's a diversity which is anyways happening naturally for all of us, there is also a conflict of interest. And how do we do that? And that is one of the biggest, what should I say, a challenge for the leaders in the organization. You have a diverse workforce, which is coming to you very easily, but then what do you do with it? There are conflicts, right? And when there are conflicts means a conflicts of ideas. So you have to bring out this conflict of ideas. How do you do it? Right? So we are not looking at those, new hires. We are not seeing the new lateral hires who are placed across. We are not meeting them, inside the meeting rooms. Those things are not happening. So it's a burden, let me tell you, and it's a great challenge for all the leaders in organizations. I can at least speak for my and a couple of other organizations. How do I bring in, all the ideas together from a diverse workforce? We are scoring high on DEI, but what do we do with it? How do I bring those ideas? Make sure, the conflicts are resolved. When you're in a room, you can talk, you can argue, you can say a lot of things, resolve, we exchange ideas. But when you're, in a remote condition, and I know I have 10 employees, some working from Pune, some from Bangalore, some, gone for, on-site opportunity, whatever. Sometimes there are people who are speak a little louder, some people are not so, vocal. How do I deal with them, right? The moment someone is speaking a little louder, the other people keep quiet. How do I kind of, make sure their ideas are brought forward? So one of those key things, what we feel is, for leaders, for managers, I think one of the biggest, grooming, it's a transformation change. More than, having to deal with, work-life balance, having to deal with, making sure our IT system is such that, we are kind of, we're already automated everything. So that, we onboard people very easily. We make sure the PMS system is done from anywhere and everywhere. We have all the, systems in place, tools in place to reach out. But to bring in about a culture, it's very, very difficult. So I think one of the biggest mandates which has happened in the organizations are for the managers and people managers, for them to deal with people from diverse workforce. They are not seeing them, right? So it's a mandate, and I'm telling you, this is very, very, as much rudimentary it might sound, people have started to create, check boxes, Today I'm going to meet 10 of my people. And 10 minutes I have to spend, because I need to understand the cues. How are they keeping their well-being? We are talking about a lot of well-being, especially when people are working from their homes. So people are actually going through those checkpoints. Okay, I met this. Every week they have a checkpoint to, where to make sure they're connecting to each and everyone. And not only connecting for the managers, even for the team to connect, right? The digital workplace is not enough. So I think hybrid is definitely the way forward. As much we sensitize around the fact that, they are more comfortable working from home, but we try to tell them that we come to office, meet your team. The chit chats, while you go out for a smoke, while you go for a tea, cannot be replaced, right? Okay. So that's very, very important. The other big challenge where, all organizations should gear up is the people, who are joining from the colleges. We have a policy of, taking 70, 80 interns and freshers every year in the organization. What we see, we have a culture, our age group and the managers and others, they have seen the organization culture. But the people who are coming in from the, colleges, they have not been absorbed in the culture. And that's a very, very, big gap. And looking at, you youngsters, you think differently, for us to learn from you, to understand you, and for you to also understand what's the culture of the organization is very important. And hence, I'm sure all of you, all the students will be looking forward to, campuses. Sometimes, most of you would be, looking forward to having a good work-life balance, being at home and also being able to work. But I think what, the essence of, coming to office, meeting your colleagues, being visible. I come to the visibility part also. It's very, very important because every organization, no one can deny. The first thing, very important, how you drive a culture and how you ingrain that culture in each and every person in the organization. And it's just not your employees, it's your contractors, your associates who are working inside the office, also even your janitors and everyone in the organization. So we build up a organization which has a common culture, and when that's where you kind of associate with an organization, and there you work towards a common goal. So as much we talk about hybrid, which is very good, but that element of having to come to office is very, very important. Very important thing, I have this opportunity of talking about visibility. There were some questions which came to me. People who are working from home, right? They feel, people who are working in office, they're more close to the leaders, more close to the managers, they're more visible, and they feel a little bit of setback. And we did a survey, and we really saw that, it's sometimes they feel that, okay, I'm missing out on something, right? I'm not contributing. So the managers, the leaders have to take care of those people also, right? The flip side of it also, people who are coming to office and, working from office, they're feeling, okay, I'm very visible. I can, let go of, not doing 10 hours of work and 8 hours, but I'm visible. I'm in front of my managers. And this is, very subtle conflict, which, usually evolves, right? So we are very much, sensitizing every manager, every leader in the organization. So this is not easy. It's easy said and done. Work-life balance, saving costs, but at the expense of larger interest, which is an organization culture. So I think all of us, as much, it's given us an opportunity to save costs, be more tech savvy. I think all of us are very, very tech savvy. 2 years, how much we have done, it's amazing. And we are gearing up for more. In fact, I have a team under me, which is an entire automation team. So what it has taught me, even being from the HR fraternity, that, digital space is very, very important. So those things are easily taken care of. It's important for organization to automate each and everything, and the focus should be just, building up your culture that connects with your new hires, your lateral hires, constantly, speaking to them, setting the expectation right. There's so many of you are going to work even from home or part-time coming to office, couple of days coming to office. So bringing that expectation, building that expectation, telling them, communication is the key. And from the other side, from an employee standpoint of view, you all be future employees in the organization. It's for you to kind of make sure that wherever you're working from, being there, being visible, being able to communicate in a manner where, be a part of that, you drive the culture. And then for us, we always say leaders are not the ones who has to drive the culture. It has to start from, even from the interns. And the moment we started opening up the office, the first team, the first group of people we wanted to bring into the office is the interns. We have been there, we have seen the culture, but the interns, they don't know the corporate culture. So all of you, even given an opportunity, not given an opportunity, do try to get into the organization culture. That's from my side. So I just wanted to sum it up. So thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Actually, after COVID, even we had started our hybrid classrooms. So all of us, all the faculty sitting over here will agree with me that there was a lot of challenge adopting to that particular model. especially because we are used to moving in the classrooms. So we got stuck on the podium and we couldn't move here and there in the classroom and teach the students. So once we start moving in the classroom, the students who are connected online, so they start saying, ma'am, we cannot see you, we cannot hear you. So that was the problem, that was the challenge we faced over here in the educational sector. But yes, I would like to inform all of you and I'm pleased to inform all of you that within a span of 3-4 days, Amity was able to adapt to the online culture and we began our classes after 4 days. Immediately when we got closed, we began our classes just after 4 days. So that is commendable. So
Yes.
So General Manager HR Prism Johnson Limited, Mr. Sanjay Ramdas Kambekar is connected online and he will be delivering his topic through online mode only. So I was supposed to come over here, but since he got unwell, he had viral fever, so he couldn't come today. So he'll be delivering his speech lecture in online mode only. So, sir, I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Sure. Good morning to all of you.
Most welcome.
Yeah.
We were expecting you over here.
Yeah.
Your physical presence.
Yeah. Sorry. Because of some unavoidable circumstances, I could not come. Last 3-4 days, I was continuously with like overtime schedule and viral fever. So I tried my level best. Morning already, I sent my PPT slide also, and I'm available for the student because I wanted to address the student. After your huge lot of effort, you have brought all the people on one platform. So I wanted to utilize this opportunity through online mode. Sorry for this inconvenience.
Thank you so much. Yes, sir, you can begin your deliberation.
So can you allow me to present because
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
yeah. Good morning to all of you. I'm in this field from last 35 years. I'm a mechanical engineer and I never thought that I will come to the field of the HR and all those things. So last 7-8 years, I'm working as HR professional. I have visited a lot of universities, like 189 universities across Madhya Pradesh, UP, Bihar, Uttarakhand, Uttarachal for the campus hiring. And one thing I have noted that in spite of evaluating, assessing more than 6,000, 7,000 students, hardly 0.25 or I will say 0.5% students are employable. Why? Because they do not study, they do not study, they bunk the classes, they do not study all the subjects, only for the namesake or passing marks, they study it. They do not attend the practicals, they do not do the religiously the internship. Even the student, those who are employable, we hire them, hire them and put into the work on their particular job. Then it is noted that we are not getting that much of output from those students or those management training. So can you see my second slide?
Yes.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
I think it is workplace learning and development enhancing the employee skills and performance. Is this slide visible to all of you?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So what we have observed that basically they are not keeping focus on the 4M basically. That is very pampered and very choosy student. They do not want to move to the different cities or they have typical liking of their own cities or that culture only. So still after getting a first job also, they are not coming out of from their comfort zone. They are not focusing on the basically managing their health. A lot of uh, trainees who are joining with they tell us the one or other health issues and all this. So I'm a firm believer if we have taken you from campus to the particular job or this thing. So this is the entry level. That is the entry because of your academic qualification. But you have to showcase the improvement in your 4 M's. First M is the managing health. Unless and until you will not keep good health, your attendance will not be good. You will not produce good on the shop floor. Healthy body is a healthy mind, better productivity both in personal and professional life. So I'm a strong believer that you have to keep your health in a good condition so that you can devote maximum time on your workplace. Second thing is that in spite of studying the BTech or MBAs or post graduation or doctorate, they are not managing themselves or not able to manage themselves. So unless and until if I am not managing myself, how I am going to manage the business of the organization? How I am going to manage the other activity? So these are the certain skills that we are developing in our employees. And I'm a strong believer that every organization or the student has to take note of this. Once you get a job, you have to manage yourself. And managing yourself is the first and most important is the understanding your role. For what you have been hired, what are the KRAs, KPI, job description is there, and you have to understand fully your job description, and you have to start delivering on that. For that, you have to be very organized, and you have to do the planning. Planning may be for 1 day, 7 days, 15 days, 1 month, or 3 months, annual, like that, and you have to execute it. Then every time it is not so happen that whatever you will do, you will get a success. Some problems will be there, some challenges will be there, some issues will be there. So you have to learn the problem solving technique, and for that you have to take a decision, either yes or no, or things will not move ahead. So the second aim is the basically managing self, in that understanding the role, organizing and planning, problem solving, and decision making. Once you started managing yourself, then second aspect is that you have to manage others. You are there in the organization, you are working for your role, but unless and until we are not working in a team, we are not working with others, we are not comfortable to work with others, we will not get a good result. Organization will not get a good result. So for managing others, we try to improve the communication skill, that is a presentation skill, communication skill, either written, verbal, spoken, like that. You have to, if you have to manage others, then you have to communicate it effectively while giving the instruction, while taking the instruction, while writing your mails, or while writing your reports. You know? Then second aspect is that you have been given certain authorities on the shop floor. So you cannot deal with the people with your authority only. You have to engage the people. Either you get engaged with the people, or you have to learn the art how you are going to engage the people. And this is a very good art, that once you learn this art, that to engage the people and get along with them, then the teamwork starts basically. And we all are professional, we are all qualified. And when we talk something in the boardroom or across the table discussion, some conflicts, there will be certain conflict, or there are certain conflicts are there. So the handling the difficult conversation, or managing the conflict is also one art. Otherwise, what happens? The employees start looking in the opposite direction to each other. One is on the south pole, another is the north pole, and they do not meet each other. They do not resolve the issue, and thing doesn't move ahead. So the third most important M is the managing others. First is the managing health, second is the managing self, and third most important is the managing others. And if we do it effectively, then definitely we can work independently, we can work with the team also. The fourth and most important competency that we try to develop is the managing the result or managing the performance. If I am working, I am giving my good head, producing good result in 8 hours, I am managing myself, I am working with other also, so definitely we should get a good result, you as an individual and organization as a whole also. For that, the competencies that need to be developed are you have to understand what are the annual budgets are there, what are the cost levers are there, for drivers are there, how we are managing the cost, are we aware of what are the expenses are going on, whether I am giving a good result or not, what are the expenses are there, and what are the results we are getting. Then in the first we thought that organizing and planning. In the managing performance is the driving and execution assignment. You have to learn the art that how you will drive those assignments and execute those assignments. And in the managing performance is the most important competencies to be developed is the managing the risk, that is the internal also. A lot of things are happening, like sometimes some petrol prices are increasing, fuel prices are increasing, or this or that, some flood is there or something is there, some or other way the business get impacted. So how we are going to recover those shortfalls and all those things. So in nutshell, whenever the students, those who are joining with us, or we take care of them, and the management trainee or the employees, even after your confirmation, they have to look into these 4 important competencies to be developed as soon as possible to climb a ladder of the succession planning. Unless and until you will not focus on all these, you will not be a successful manager or engineer or a shop floor engineer, or even you are working in the office as a manager. So I'm a strong believer that student, we have to transform them from the student to the professional life. And it is similar to the like you take a dry soil. Dry soil has to get mixed with the water and it becomes a wet soil. And उसको जो कुमार रहता है उसको पूरा रौंदता है ना, जब तक कि उसको अच्छी तरह से रौंदता नहीं है, उसको जो पानी उसमें मिट्टी में मिक्स नहीं होता है, तब तक एक अच्छा मोल्ड बनता नहीं है, एंड देन उसको शेप किया जाता है. So similarly, your life will be like that only. Lot of things will happen with you. You have to be very flexible, adaptable, be a team player, learn every day one or other thing. You have to be a lifetime student. In spite of your 10 years job, 5-year job, or 15-year job is there. So it will help you for the both personal and professional career. I'm strong believer that the youth plays a very great role in the nation building, and the student, those who are transforming themselves from the student to the professional life, they have to think about themselves, their family, their parents, society, as well as their organization. And the biggest return on investment they can do, every time student feel that I have studied from this college, that college, my parent invested, what return on investment I am getting? You have to think that in that direction. There are again like a 4M I told, there are 4 ROIs are there. First ROI is there. Once you get a job, you started returning something to your parents. Then how best you can build on your career, your parents will be happy. Second will be the ROI that your institute, if you are alumni of CIM Patna or NIT Patna or Amity University Patna, then your university will be proud that my student has become a manager there, here and there, in this organization or that organization. A third ROI is if you are getting a salary of 5 lakh, 6 lakh, 10 lakh rupees, you have to work in such a way that your output to the organization will be 50 lakh, 60 lakh. Then only the organizations will grow. It is not only the ROI for you that salary you are getting, it is the ROI for the organization also. And fourth ROI is basically I'm talking about the what we are then build our career, what we are returning to society, to this mother earth. So we try that we develop these competencies in the student when we hire them, or even we hire laterally. Sometimes we take the candidate from the open market also, and 60 to 70% candidate we take from the campuses also. So this is what my request to the student sitting here or HR managers, that this is what we take care of the employees as a journey from managing to leading, and improving their skills and competencies. This was from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving 4M mantras to our students. Students, I hope you understood what sir has spoken just now. Sir has told you. What were the 4 M's? Managing health, managing self, managing others, and managing business and performance. So health, I suppose, is very, very important. All the distinguished guests who are sitting over here, they'll agree with me that especially students, you have to see that you maintain a proper disciplined lifestyle. इंस्टा, सोशल मीडिया कम करो, रात में जो पूरा इस्तेमाल करते हो लेट नाइट जग करके और फिर अर्ली मॉर्निंग यू आर लेट टू द क्लास. So that should not happen, because if you have that kind of lifestyle now, that is going to give you trouble, once you enter your 30s. So health is very, very important, of prime importance. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And sir, you will be connected for the open house also for our question answer session, sir.
No issues. Now it will be the question answer or after that?
Sometime, sir. After some time.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
So now we'll play the digital profile of Dr. Chaitanya.
Dr. Chetan.
Dr. Chaitanya, in his role as Associate Vice President at Ernst & Young LLP, leads initiatives in economic development advisory, MSF, and private sector development. With over 16 years of diverse experience spanning government and public sector consulting, strategy, marketing, and business research, Dr. Chaitanya has amassed an impressive project portfolio. He has been a key collaborator with both central and state ministries, contributing his expertise to significant projects that drive impactful change and development. Dr. Chaitanya brings a wealth of academic and practical expertise to his role at Ernst & Young LLP. He holds an MBA and a PhD in marketing, reflecting his dedication to combining rigorous academic knowledge with real-world application. His influence extends beyond his academic achievements. He is a recognized expert in public policy formulation, having played a pivotal role in shaping numerous policies and schemes for both central and state governments. With a commitment to making a substantial impact in the fields of government and public sector consulting, strategy, marketing, and business research, Dr. Chaitanya is a valuable asset in his role as Associate Vice President. Sir, Amity Business School welcomes you.
May I now have the pleasure of inviting Dr. Chaitanya, who's Associate Vice President, EGA, MSME, and PhD, Ernst & Young LLP. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is a great and indeed pleasure to be here with you. And I have a very great liking for the academics. So I've done my PhD also, and I have completed my PhD in last 7 years. So I've enrolled my PhD in 2015, but I have completed in 2022. So that is the kind of pressure you will get from the corporate. So it is not easy for anyone to work in a corporate, and then also they have to continue with their studies. So even if you are coming out from the office at around 9, you have to study at around 10 or 11, and you have to give 2 or 3 hours for your studies. Then only you can complete your PhD. So I will not give much of the lecture. but I have something to tell you. So I will give you 3 or 4 pointers, which is very important and which we have learned in last 15-16 years of my experiences. The first thing is that we should have a very clear purpose of what we are doing. तो अगर आपके पास पर्पस नहीं है, आपको पता नहीं है कि आपको क्या करना है, तो आप कुछ भी जो कर रहे हो वो बेकार है. तो अगर मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल दूं कि आप किसी एक ऐसी कंपनी में काम कर रहे हो जहां पे आपको हर रोज एक टास्क दिया जाएगा बिग बॉस की तरह कि आपको आज ये करना है, आपको किसी बच्चे के लिए कुछ करना है या आपको कोई एक ऐसा काम करना है जो किसी पुअर बच्चे को हेल्प करेगा. तो अगर वो सुबह में बता दिया जाएगा तो आप उस इंटेंट के साथ काम करोगे और उस इंटेंट के साथ काम करोगे तो वो अच्छे से अच्छे काम कर पाओगे. लेकिन अगर आपको सिर्फ ये बताया जाएगा कि किसी और एक इंडिविजुअल के लिए काम दिया गया है और उनको सिर्फ इससे मॉनेटरी एडवांटेज होगा तो शायद वो इंटेंट आपके साथ काम नहीं करे. सो दैट इज वन पॉइंट. द सेकंड पॉइंट इज दैट for everyone we have 168 hours for a week. So we have to start living our life in hours rather than in months or weeks. So for 168 hours, if we will subtract some around 88 hours or 90 hours for other activities, still we have so many hours for our productive work. So that is most important aspect. The third aspect is stress management. Stress management is very important for every organization, for any corporate. Stress management is very important. तो उसका मैं एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ आपको कि लेट्स से आप वायलिन बजा रहे हो या आप गिटार बजा रहे हो तो उसके तार को अगर आप बहुत ज्यादा टाइट कर दोगे तो म्यूजिक नहीं बजेगा. अगर आप बहुत ज्यादा लूज करोगे तो म्यूजिक नहीं बजेगा. तो आपको बिल्कुल बैलेंस करके उस स्ट्रिंग को रखना है कि आपको ऑप्टिमम म्यूजिक मिले. सो दैट इज द फोर्थ आस्पेक्ट. सर ने जो कहा हेल्थ के लिए, हेल्थ इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, डूइंग राइट थिंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. और आपको ये पता होना चाहिए कि कहीं ना कहीं आपको एक ट्रेड ऑफ करना है लाइफ में कि अगर आपको कोई एक पर्टिकुलर चीज चाहिए तो दूसरी पर्टिकुलर चीज को आपको सैक्रिफाइस करना हो. अगर सचिन तेंदुलकर इतना महान क्रिकेटर बना तो उसने कुछ ना कुछ सैक्रिफाइस किया. तो आपको कहीं ना कहीं लाइफ में ट्रेड ऑफ करना पड़ेगा. दैट्स इट. थैंक यू.
So all the students, I hope you have a purposeful life. Do you have? Yes. Okay, so that should be clear as sir said. And as for stress management, हमारे टाइम में तो पिटाई लगती, तो उसके बाद तो स्ट्रेस का कोई सवाल ही नहीं. कोई फ्रस्ट्रेशन नहीं, कोई डिप्रेशन नहीं, किसी तरह का कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. पढ़ना है तो पढ़ना है, खेलना है तो खेलना है. तो स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट तो हमारा ऐसे ही हो जाता, पिटाई लग जाती. कुछ अगर हम लोग बोलेंगे कि नहीं समझ में नहीं आ रहा, बहुत डिप्रेशन में है, बहुत फ्रस्ट्रेशन में है, स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट की तब बात वैसी थी हमारी. बट नाउ you have to learn, to manage the stress. As sir said, that you have to have, proper position of the string of whatever instrument you are using so that you can play the music properly. So thank you so much, sir. May I now request Mr. Praveen Lal for his deliberation, but before that, we'll play the digital profile. We'll share the digital profile.
Mr. Praveen Michael Lal holds a prominent position as the state HR head for Reliance Jio in Bihar. With a career spanning over 2 decades in human resource management, Mr. Praveen has honed his skills in various critical areas such as recruitment, employee lifecycle management, learning and development, employee engagement, CSR, and rewards and recognition. Notably, he is celebrated for his adeptness in crafting and executing strategic plans that seamlessly align with an organization's overarching vision and goals. In his current role as the state HR head for Bihar at Reliance Jio since September 2021, Praveen Michael Lal oversees a comprehensive array of HR functions. This encompassed talent acquisition, performance management, learning and development, employee relations, and compliance. Under his guidance, a team of HR professionals diligently works to align these functions with the organization's objectives, thereby ensuring employee satisfaction. Mr. Praveen Michael Lal's academic foundation comprises a PG diploma in Personal Management and Industrial Relations from XISS, Ranchi, 1998, complemented by a BSc in Geology from St. Xavier's College, Ranchi, 1994. Beyond his academic achievements, Mr. Praveen has been recognized as a guest speaker, where he has shared his valuable insights at various esteemed events and institutions. These include appearances at ISM Patna, Amity University Noida, IMT Ghaziabad and Ravan Shaw University Odisha. Currently, he eagerly anticipates his participation in an upcoming HR Summit. Sir, Amity Business School welcomes you.
So may I now have the pleasure of inviting Mr. Praveen Lal, who is State HR Reliance Head, Reliance Jio.
Thank you, Chetna ji, and a very good morning to all my friends. So till my colleague is trying to figure out some little bit of a technological problem with the Zoom thing. So meanwhile, what I'll do is I'll catch up with certain things जो कि बहुत ही जरूरी है, जो कि हमारे past speakers ने बोला over the last maybe half an hour or so. So first of all, once again, a very hearty good afternoon to this young crowd of bubbly students. As I see you sitting here, it really feels very good because this takes me back to almost now 24 odd years, 24 or 25 odd years, जिस समय मैं भी ऐसे ही बैठा करता था, and it was at that point of time I was not one amongst the front benches. Okay, so let me make it very clear. I used to either operate from the back, बदमाश कैटेगरी में, या कुछ अच्छा रहा तो बीच में. So the past speakers, as I said, जिन लोगों ने अभी थोड़ी देर पहले शेयर किया, so like Dr. Chaitanya had mentioned कि कहीं पे आपको ट्रेड ऑफ करना होगा, right? While आप इन चीजों को बहुत probably seriously इस स्टेज में समझ रहे हो या नहीं समझ रहे हो, that I do not know. But actually speaking, if you probably maybe 5 years down the line, when you have actually got into the mainstream and many of you would be HR managers at good positions, working for good companies or the government, then you will realize that what he has said is partly correct also. और जैसे डॉक्टर चेतना ने भी जब कहा कि आप फेसबुक और लिंक्डइन एंड यूट्यूब एंड ट्विटर में जो फंसे रहते हो रात को, ठीक है, तो I have a slight difference of opinion with Chetna ji here, with my apologies. That is something which is required also to a certain extent, keeping in mind that you have to network also, right? But not at the cost of your health, of course. आपकी आज की focus और priority होनी चाहिए that you work, you study well, so that you get into the mainstream, you get into a good organization, you make proper use of the things what you are learning here in Amity, right? Not at the cost of your नींद. बहुत important चीज होती है. अभी आप लोग young हो तो शायद इस चीज को नहीं realize कर पाते होंगे. Probably maybe 15-20 years down the line, today I find that it is one of the most sought out things. आज मुझसे कोई पूछेगा कि सबसे ज्यादा आप क्या मिस करते हो, मैं sleep मिस करता हूँ. Because it's always a continuous grind for all of us, right? You have to manage multiple things. You have to do multiple hatting, wearing different hats at different points in time. तो इन चीजों को आप याद रखिए. I'll take you back to what I'm sorry, इनसे पहले जो online जो presentation सर दिखा रहे थे, I forgot his name. he showed you a slide on एक कच्ची मिट्टी का कुम्हार जो घड़ा बना रहा था, राइट? आप लोग आज के डेट में उस स्टेज में हो, यू आर दैट सॉइल, यू आर दैट, आप मोल्डेबल क्ले हो, आप मैलिएबल क्ले हो, जिसको किसी भी तरीके से अच्छे तरीके से मोल्ड करके अच्छा प्रोडक्ट बनाया जा सकता है। रिमेंबर दैट दैट्स इन योर फेवर। After some time, during the latter part of your career, maybe when you become like me or Dr. Chaitanya or for Drishti for that matter, then you will not be so flexible and adaptable. So keep yourself, while the topic is very, very interesting. It's interesting both from, talking in terms of different kinds of work models, what we are adapting. We are adapting the hybrid models, or for gender diversity, or for diversity and inclusion, all these subjects, you have to remember to embrace these things and thoughts from an open mind. क्योंकि आपको ये चीज याद रखना होगा कि अलग अलग ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में अलग अलग प्रायोरिटीज हो सकती है। तो while there is an obvious shift in terms of post the COVID era, there is an obvious shift in the thought process कि जो जैसे बोला जाता है कि जो दिखता है वो बिकता है, राइट? तो जो ऑफिस में दिखता है उसकी ज्यादा मान्यता हुआ करती थी। That was the previous thought process many organizations had. Now it's not the same. There is an obvious shift in the thought process, especially with respect to many companies I can vouch for. अभी यह है कि आपको बहुत सारे एम्प्लॉयर्स ऐसे हैं जिनको कि आप 8 घंटे काम कर रहे हो, 10 घंटे काम कर रहे हो, 12 घंटे काम कर रहे हो, उससे मतलब नहीं। What they are only interested in is the results. आप रिजल्ट्स यदि टाइमली दे पा रहे हो और अच्छे से कर पा रहे हो, ये एम्प्लॉयर हैज नो प्रॉब्लम। तो वो ये भी नहीं देखेगा कि भाई आपने लॉग इन किया तो सुबह 10 बजे किया कि 8 बजे किया। Your deliverables for the day, have they been met in a proper manner or not? That is all which talks in terms of hybrid models. Of course, when I speak of hybrid models as well as from a diversity and inclusion stuff, it is also important to remember कि कुछ roles ऐसे होते हैं। There are different kinds of roles, कुछ roles ऐसे होते हैं जैसे मान लो कि एक सेल्समैन का रोल, सेल्स मार्केट फेसिंग रोल है, एंड एक सेल्समैन का रोल है तो वो वर्क फ्रॉम होम एनवायरनमेंट में ऑपरेशन इज नॉट पॉसिबल फ्रॉम दैट एक्सटेंट। Therefore, it has to be a it's not a work from home kind of a model. However, on similar lines, there are certain back-end roles. कुछ एक HR की भी roles उसमें होती है, जिसमें आप work from home कर सकते हो, but there are different kinds of roles, right? तो उसमें options हैं जिसमें आप work from home कर सकते हैं. Employers have learned this lesson also during the COVID era, that many roles they have identified, और वैसे लोगों को उन लोगों ने options भी दिया है. You can work from home provided the work does not get hampered. The employees इस तरह से actually ये भी होता है कि employee के लिए अच्छा job satisfaction भी होता है. They are able to maintain work-life balance also. From the employer's perspective, on the other hand, lesser people have to come to the office, which also means that lesser workspace is required in terms of the physical workspace. So office space less की requirement होती है. Permanent, operational expenses like electricity, etc. So it's a win-win situation for the employer also and the employees. So these things are important from your perspective. Important to remember, you have to learn to embrace new things, because what I am speaking today, what my earlier speakers have shared with you, what we are today seeing might not be the thing what is the in thing tomorrow. So आपको उस चीज को ध्यान में रखना है that all these words which are the in things today, diversity, inclusion, hybrid models, so you have to be completely adaptive to these things, open to these things, and never think from a viewpoint कि इसको मैं embrace नहीं कर सकता. You have to remember that. So on that note, I will close off this session and thank you all and remember to be the very best. हमेशा की तरह मेरी तरह backbenchers रहना जरूरी नहीं है. Having said that, remember अच्छे से मेहनत करना है. Do not spend lot of time on Facebook and Twitter and all the social media stuff. Right? Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Praveen. So, as all of you know that change is the only constant. So you have to adapt yourself according to the times. You have to adapt yourself according to the technology. Then only you're going to be relevant in present. So thank you very much. So now, MBA third semester students have prepared a humorous skit depicting corporate life. So dear students, MBA third semester students, please come. Yeah, all the students who are participating in skit, please come and please bring some smile and cheer on everybody's faces.
A very warm good morning, everyone. Now the students of MET Business School are here on stage to present a funny skit. This skit represents the scene of Manish Infotech Private Limited and the minor conflicts that happens between employees and managers.
Priya? Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. Ma'am, it's only 8:30. You are already here? Yeah, I know it's very early. But I've got lots of pending work to do. Ma'am, could you please get me a cup of coffee? Yes, I'm sure. Thank you. Anything else, ma'am? No, thank you. What's the update regarding the task I gave you yesterday? Yes, ma'am, it's almost done. Okay, get me the file once it's completely done. Priya? Yes, ma'am. Is everyone here? Not yet, ma'am. Why? It's already past 10. They might be on the way, ma'am. Okay, inform me once they're here. Okay, ma'am.
अरे बाबा, ये किसके ऑफिस में आ गया? और सब कुछ जाना पहचाना सा लग रहा है। अरे सबसे पहले मैं ही आ गया।
अरे तू कब आया?
सबसे पहले मैं ही आया। और वो छोड़, ये देख, जो मैम पंचुअलिटी पे इतना भाषण देते रहती है, आज खुद ही लेट है।
अरे हाँ, ये भी नहीं आई। अरे छोड़ो ना दोस्तों, काफी सारा काम पेंडिंग है, उसे पहले कंप्लीट करते हैं।
ये चुप कर। ये ले, बिस्किट खा। चल आते हैं बाहर से चक्कर मार के। क्या बिस्किट खा। मेरे पीछे लगता है नहीं सुनी, ईयरफोन लगाई है मैम।
Hello there. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
I had given you a task since a while. Have you met the deadlines?
It's almost done, ma'am.
Ma'am, I've done my task.
Oh, good. And what about you?
Ma'am, we will do it soon.
I want it done by today anyhow. No excuses will be entertained. Now please leave.
अरे यार, आज ही मुझे छुट्टी चाहिए थी और आज ही ये कांड हो गया। अब क्या बहाना लेके मैं अंदर जाऊं? तुम लोग ही कुछ आइडिया दो।
अरे बोल दे, सर दर्द हो रहा है। भाई, सर दर्द होने के लिए दिमाग का भी जरूरत होता है।
अरे बोल दे, फीवर है।
कितनी अच्छी शक्ल है, इतने गंदे आइडिया क्यों दे रहे हो?
अरे बोल दे, दादी की तबीयत खराब है। भाई, मरी भी दादी का तूने ऑलरेडी फीवर बहाना बना चुका है, अब उन्हें कितनी बार मारेगा?
अच्छा सब रुको, मेरे पास एक अच्छा आइडिया। देखो तुम जाके मैम को बोल दो कि मुझे हाफ डे की छुट्टी चाहिए, इसलिए लड़की वाले देखना है।
हाँ, ये ठीक रहेगा। वैसे भी मेरी शादी की उम्र हो रही है। अभी मैं आता हूँ। May I come in, ma'am?
Yes, please.
मैम, मुझे आज छुट्टी चाहिए थी।
For what? And have you completed your task?
Yeah, ma'am, it's almost done. और वैसे मैम, मुझे आज देखने के लिए लड़की वाले आ रहे हैं।
You think I'm a fool? क्या मुझे नहीं समझ में आ रहा है कि ये सब काम ना करने के बहाने हैं?
आपको ऐसा क्यों लगता है कि सारा काम आप ही करते हो? वैसे भी आपका काम ही क्या होता है? सारा काम तो आप हमसे करवा लेते हो।
Exactly. सारे काम तो आप खुद ही कर लेते हैं। तो एक काम करते हैं, मेरा कल वीक ऑफ है, मैंने आपको ऑलरेडी प्रोजेक्ट दे रखा है, बस 2 घंटे का काम और बाकी है। तो जब तक मैं आऊंगी तब तक आप सबसे बस वो काम करवा के रखिएगा। तो कल बस एक दिन के लिए आप मेरी कुर्सी संभालेंगे।
ये बस बहस और सुनने के लिए अच्छी है, प्रैक्टिकली पॉसिबल नहीं है।
बिल्कुल पॉसिबल है। आपने अभी कहा कि कोई काम नहीं होता है और सारा काम आप खुद कर लेते हैं। तो बस एक दिन के लिए मेरी कुर्सी पे बैठ के देखिए। बोलिए, मंजूर है?
हाँ, ठीक है।
ओके, ठीक। और रही बात आपकी छुट्टी की, आप छुट्टी ले सकते हैं। गुड लक फॉर टुमारो।
थैंक यू। दोस्तों, मुझे छुट्टी मिल गई और पता है, कल का मैनेजर मैं हूँ। मैं चलता हूँ, मिलते हैं कल।
The next day,
ये लो, बस 2 घंटे की काम है, पहले काम कर लेते हैं, उसके बाद पूरा दिन मस्ती मस्ती।
वाओ, बस 2 घंटे का काम।
अरे हमारे पास तो पूरा दिन है, हो जाएगा आराम से।
ये भी ठीक है।
सर सर अरे सर, वो प्रोजेक्ट का क्या हुआ?
हाँ हाँ, मैं अभी पता करता हूँ। अरे तुम लोगों ने नहीं किया? अरे कर लो कर लो।
अरे हो जाएगा, just chill. Just chill, chill, just chill, just chill, chill, just chill, just chill, chill, just chill. Sonia, dil se mila de, Sonia, dil se mila de. Just chill, chill, just chill.
last 2 hours left.
अरे अब तो कर लो, बस 2 ही घंटे बचे हैं।
हाँ हाँ, अब कर देंगे।
अब ये लाइट को क्या हो गया? अरे कोई देखो, जनरेटर चलवाओ। हेलो,
पूरे शहर की गई है, थोड़ी देर में आ जाएगी, असुविधा के लिए खेद है।
अब ये बिजली आधी क्यों आई है? इट्स अ वेरी सीरियस सिचुएशन।
अब तो सुबह से ही जनरेटर खराब है, आधा ही लोड ले रहा है, देख नहीं आ रहा है। अब तो सुबह से ही ध्यान देना था।
ये काम भी मैं ही करूं?
अरे चिंता क्यों करते हो, कल सुबह सारा काम हो जाएगा, just chill.
हाँ, पर सुबह तुम लोग समय से पहले आ जाना, हमें ये कंप्लीट करके दिखाना है।
हाँ हाँ, आ गए।
The next day,
कोई नहीं आया।
good morning, Mr. Sunny. Mr. Sunny. So, how was your day as a manager? काम तो हो गया होगा ना? अरे, जितने कॉन्फिडेंस से आपने कहा था कि सारा काम आप कर लेते हैं, मुझे तो लगा था इसके साथ साथ 2 प्रोजेक्ट और निपटा देंगे आप।
सॉरी मैम।
मिस्टर सनी, ये सब बस आपको एक सबक सिखाने के लिए। जैसे गाड़ी के 4 पहिए होते, अगर उनमें से कोई एक भी पहिया सही से काम ना करे, तो क्या गाड़ी आगे बढ़ पाएगी? जब वो चारों पहिए मिलके एक साथ काम करते हैं, तभी गाड़ी आगे बढ़ती है। तो सभी पहिए इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट है ना? आई होप आप अपना सबक सीख चुके हैं।
बिल्कुल मैम।
तो लेट्स गेट बैक टू वर्क। काफी काम पेंडिंग है। Thank you.
So I hope all of you have enjoyed the humorous short break. So we'll continue with the deliberations now. We'll share the digital profile of Mr. Sanjoy Nath first.
Mr. Sanjoy Nath, AGM and Circle Head at India Post Payments Bank. With 28 years of extensive experience in the banking industry, Mr. Sanjoy Nath has honed his skills in financial management, strategic planning and customer service. Throughout his career, he has maintained a particular focus on driving financial inclusion, ensuring that underrepresented populations have access to banking and financial services. Mr. Sanjoy Nath's extensive career spans 28 years in the banking industry, focusing on financial inclusion, financial management, strategic planning, and customer service. He has held leadership roles at esteemed institutions like UBI, IDBI Bank, and IPPB. Mr. Nath holds an AGM designation, an MBA, AMP, and a diploma in international banking from IIBF Mumbai, showcasing his strong educational background and leadership capabilities. Mr. Sanjoy Nath is a forward-thinking banking professional open to global opportunities in Europe and Singapore. He seeks a challenging role to leverage his financial inclusion expertise, financial management skills, and 28 years of industry experience. His commitment to providing banking access to undeserved populations remain a driving force in his career. With a history of leadership roles at IDBI Bank and Punjab National Bank, Mr. Sanjoy is well prepared to make a significant impact in his next role. Sir, Amity Business School welcomes you.
May I now have the pleasure of inviting Mr. Sanjoy Nath, who is AGM, India Post Payments Bank, Patna.
Thank you so much. So, good afternoon to every one of you. Am I audible till then? So, you have been listening from the morning from the distinguished guests, a lot about HR, a lot about what things can be done, what is expected of you. I will tell you a short transformation story about the largest postal network in the country, and then we will discuss a little bit about what can be your role in it, and finally what is expected of a young employee in an organization. So these are the three areas I would be talking about. How many of you have been writing? I mean, you've seen a postman earlier and now. Do you see any difference? Right? India Post is one of the oldest organizations set up by the erstwhile British, and it is spread in the length and breadth of the country. 1,55,000 offices are there spread across all the geographical spread of the country. It is in fact the largest organization of the government which has got its presence all over the country. There are important institutions, but this institution also is of utmost importance to the government. So with advent of technology, the postal department was slowly, losing its relevance. Now nobody writes a letter. How many of you are writing a letter? I mean, the distinguished guests might have written letters in their younger form, times. But you as a student, I would hardly imagine you to be writing any letters, physical form, unless it's of formal nature to your college or to an organization for an application. That too, it's all online. So government felt a need to transform this huge organization for a viable cause. 2014 was the crux year. Government had launched a very important program, if you know, this Jan Dhan, right? Anderson Young, distinguished guest is also there. He is much more aware of all such things. The trinity of JAM, this Jan Dhan, Aadhaar and Mobile, actually ushered a new, a digital India. And there was a need to plug in the gaps where the traditional banks could not. The government felt that why not transform the largest organization in the country, bring it under digital initiative and transform it as a financial hub for the last mile underprivileged people of the country. Overnight, when this concept came and it was presented to RBI for licenses, they also had them in apprehensions. Indian Post and back in banking. Though India Post was doing you all have postal savings accounts, right? They were somewhat doing little bit of savings type banking, say around last 50 years. That's part of the DFS, that's Director of Financial Services work. But at time it was needed that it needed to transform itself from the paper-based mode to a digital. Came India Post Payment Bank. The licenses were given to the department by RBI in form of only payment banks license. And the first two cities that were witnessing change was Raipur and Ranchi, south of Bihar. They were the two pilot projects. And 1st of September 2018, our Honorable Prime Minister had inaugurated 1,55,000 posts a single day with 650 IPP branches for a one-stroke, bringing the financial inclusion and bringing closer the banking industry by 2.5 times into the village. That was the strength on which the government wanted to work. Government had set up a plan that we need to train whom? The postmen. They were only delivering letters, right? Money orders. To train them. We had to train 3 lakh people. It was one of the largest HR exercise ever done in the country. You could not have imagined. People slept. Tapan is over here, he's coming with me. People had slept sleepless nights over a period. How to train, how to transform these people back and make them viable in this new system. People were old, 60, 65, 55, never had touched a mobile. It was a Herculean task. But believe me, today we are starting the 4th year of this. We just had our 5th anniversary, 1st of September. You will be glad to know that within this short period of time, and during which we had almost 18 months of COVID lockdown, this bank has touched 7.5 crore households. It has got 7.5 crore accounts in the system. How it is possible? It is only possible because we could transform the postman into Dakia, into a financial service provider. This has been the story of India. During lockdown, where banks were not accessible, people were bound at their homes. What happened? These postmen were taken by the district administration They were, the DMs were with the microphones. Please come down and please collect your money. Banks were open. All institutes, everything, they were doing from their home, work from home, but unfortunately, all the bankers had to come to their offices, even maybe sometimes on the alternate days. This is the challenge that you might be facing. You want to come down in this industry. I have the privilege of, getting some of the students as interns in our organization. I'm glad to say that we have seen bright minds. I've seen bright minds in you all people. One thing I would always like to say, I always say, keep things simple, keep things consistent, and be persistent on that path. We all are aware of one thing. What is our rights? Everybody knows what's our rights, right? I'll just take from the skit. I mean, I really like the skit. The skit says, "Ho jayega." So, ho jayega. मैं अपन को बोलता रहता हूँ, हो जाएगा मतलब definitely हो जाएगा. You have to be, when you are hired, it is expected that you will not be micromanaged. In my system, in our organization, we have tried to build a culture where we need not want to micromanage people. We want the people to be self-empowered, understand they have to have their own accountability. You have to be accountable to yourself first, then anybody else. Getting aware of your rights is absolutely right, but also getting aware of your accountability, getting aware of your responsibility is far more important if you want to have a long, cherished life. I wish all of you a wonderful career ahead, and I also look forward to a lot of students coming to India Post Payment Bank as an intern to understand. Yes, you might be wanting to go to high, glazed offices, but we work down in the dust, and that is what is rural India. That is what is India. Until unless you get a taste of it, you should have a taste of both sides of the world. That's what we say. I myself, I have traveled 32 districts out of 38 districts of Bihar in 1 year of time to understand what is Bihar and how we can adapt to the situation. Until unless you know the problems itself very clearly, it's very difficult for you to find any answer. So my, I will not say it's a request. It should be your mool mantra that whatever you do, keep it simple, keep it consistent, and do it for a longer time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing the transformational journey of India Post Payments Bank. And as sir said, that you have to keep things simple, and consistency in life is very, very important. With the help of consistency only, you are going to achieve success. So all of you, please remember that, students. And sir, as I told you earlier also, our students have done internship in your organization, and they are quite happy and satisfied with the kind of work which they have done. Thank you so much. Now we are going to play the digital profile of Mr. Anurag Kirti.
Anurag Kirti, an ex-LRI alumni, is an experienced campus lead with a demonstrated history of working in the information technology and services industry. Skilled in graduate recruitment, leadership, data analysis, IT recruitment, and business analysis. The challenge of helping great minds find their dream job is absolutely unparalleled. To be a part of a candidate's as well as a company's success story brings a lot of job satisfaction. takes pride in exceeding professional and personal goals, and strives to make every day count. Thinking of ways to infuse environments with forward thinking, talent, and reimagining the future of the workplace excites him. What he believes in is connectivity, collaboration, passion, and innovation. Important to run our race and wish others well. Sir, Amity Business School welcomes you.
So may I now have the honor of inviting Mr. Anurag Kirti, who is Region Lead, Global Campus Hiring Wipro.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Very good afternoon, I think, to all of you. I think you have heard all the wonderful speakers out there. In fact, I also got an opportunity while I was in the meeting room. I got an opportunity to interact with all these stalwarts of the industry, ma'am, sir. So I won't, I can understand the pain. When I see myself, I think 7-8 years back on the other side, we used to see our watches as in when the session will end. The best way in my, when you say, when you want me to leave, you can start clapping. This is the best way of saying that, ho gaya aaj bhi. So my name is Anurag Kirti. I'm part of Wipro campus hiring team. And today, in fact, it's always a pleasure visiting your premises. I remember, I think 4 years back when I used to be here for almost 2-3 days for the campus recruitment drive. And when I'm again here back, I really feel happy and I'm really honored and would like to extend my vote of thanks to ma'am, sir, and your Amity Patna team for inviting me. Unfortunately, in the last time I thought that I won't be able to come because of certain, emergency at my family, but somehow, the Amity Patna family couldn't, I could not stop myself. So when I'm talking about these students, when we talk about, I think since I'm a recruiter, I think employability comes one of the major things when we talk about employability. So I just want to convey one thing that right now industry is talking about employability, and the second very important thing is deployability. Okay, so when you are in your college days, it's very important. You should understand and evaluate yourself as in where are you now, what next, and where and how you want to position yourself in the coming few years. So it's very important to build skills beyond grades. So I was never a 10 CGPA person. Okay. And I have seen a couple of students who always think that, okay, I got 10 CGPA, I will definitely get a good job. But it may or may not be. I think industries are changing, domains are changing. So it's very important to stay relevant. Okay, the way we update our smartphones, similarly, we need to understand that how and when are we updating ourselves. Okay, because invest your time, energy, and effort in learning something new. Rest everything is subject to market risk. Okay. So when you learn something new and when you explore, I remember when in 2020, for all the techies, we were asked to work from home. Those traveling time used to save, and if you are in Bangalore, 2 hours one way. So I used to be confused in Kolkata and Bhubaneswar. How will I utilize my time? So I always had my passion for music. So I'm a very pathetic singer, but somehow I used to manage my time. I used to play instruments. Then I learned one beautiful instrument called ukulele. I think you must be knowing it, right? Throughout the journey, when I started writing poetry, I started doing podcasts. I think beyond work, Monday to Friday, I'm a core HR guy. On Saturday, Sunday, I'm in an artist mode. Okay. So I always see that persistence, consistency will help you. And when you are passionate about certain things, it will help you to achieve what actually you want to achieve in your life. So it's very important that don't let setbacks, define you. It should refine you. Okay. Similarly, it's very important. Over the years, I started my journey as a developer, techie, work on some project delivery part. Then somehow I understood and imagined myself as I'm a people person. So let's connect and talk to people. Then I came into HR. Being a part of XLRI, I learned, how important it is to learn certain skills. There are certain things you don't only learn in the classroom. There are certain things we learn beyond classroom. Okay, so it's very important that we should meet in person. We should connect. Dear students, since the campus hiring season is on, it's very important that you should start aligning your preparation and strategy as per the industry. Okay. Similarly, how you go to a hotel I know a couple of restaurants in Patna also. I am from Bihar. So if you go to a beautiful restaurants in say Patna, and particularly the main thing what you're looking for is food, right? Rest everything comes as a complimentary. Yes or no? अगर कोई आपको बोलेगा खाना नहीं मिलेगा सिर्फ गाना मिलेगा, will you appreciate it? The food and music will be a best combo, right? So when you go to a hotel or a restaurant, you always look for food. Similarly, a company coming in your campus comes with a predefined, what I can say, they are looking for certain skill sets, and if you don't match it with their requirements, and then you go back and complain that I'm not getting employed, I don't think it's the right thing, okay? So it's not only applied to you, it also applies to us that learning and continuous learning should be an integral part of our life. Every day, I think when I was working in Angular JS, the version was different. And when I see now, the version is different. And in fact, it's an engineer's day today, okay? So it's very, very important that we are celebrating a day we dedicate it to engineers, right? And in fact, it's very, very important that engineering or any degree, whatever you are pursuing, it's not always about equation and formulas. It's beyond that, how you are bringing changes, how you are impacting people around. So dear students, it's a very, very important that don't take, falling as failing. Okay. So always remember one thing, that wherever you are, understand as in what industry expects from you, align your preparation. Academic scores are very, very important, but at the same time, it's equally important to stay relevant. I remember gone are the days when people who used to know C, C++, Java used to sustain in the organization for 20 long years. Okay, but right now, I see one of my standard 9 kids, he stays in here, he's doing a product development. So just imagine I from a computer science 3rd-year student, I am learning C++, I'm writing a hello world program, and a guy from standard 9 are doing a product development and app development, right? So opportunities are immense, okay? And a couple of times what I have seen, when I interact with students, when you go for an interview, okay, often I have seen that students say that, sir, I'm a very quick learner. And in fact, the HR are very curious to know, tell me 1 or 2 things which you have learned in the last 2-3 years. The person says, sir, I have learned data types, but if I get an opportunity, I will learn all the programming languages. So no one will, give you such, I don't think it's a good story to share, right? It's very, very important when you go to an interview for an interview and you share your story. Always good, share the right examples, saying in the last 2-3 years, I have learned these things. And over the years, if I get an opportunity, I would like to explore in this segment. So often I have also seen when a person says, I think the same resume, only the father names, and sometimes even the father names remains the same. Okay, and then say, oh, sir. Okay, the same resume. The moment the HR and recruiter says, good morning, sir, I am this, I'm coming from this. The same cassette goes again and again. And the person who actually designed the resume, he's coming at last and he's getting rejected. The person who copied is getting selected. So it's very, very important. The resume, tailor your resume. It's your story, share in the best possible ways. Because I think, every story is beautiful. Okay. It all depends how you express and how you convey. So dear students, wishing you all the very best. Do everything but nothing at the cost of academics. Okay. Last but not the least, believe in the magic of 3 things. I personally practice it. Right attitude, aptitude, and gratitude. Okay. The entire MIT University, Patna, sir, Chetna ma'am, VC sir, they are all working, entire, teachers, faculty members, can only give you the platform, right? But who is the actual performer? Yes, you cannot expect someone else to perform on your behalf. So always express gratitude to them. And every thank you doesn't need a reason, right? I remember my school teacher's birthday, it's not always that, okay, I have internal marks out, okay, ma'am, thank you. Okay, otherwise, good morning, ma'am, good morning, sir, good afternoon, sir. So it's very, very important. Attitude and aptitude determines our altitude. Okay, so how far we will go, it's not only about the knowledge or the technology we know. Okay, so people talking about artificial intelligence, but we should also believe in the human intelligence, right? So with this note, thank you so much for being a wonderful people. And thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Pleasure. Thank you.
So with right attitude and aptitude, you are going to gain the right altitude. So that is a good line which we have learned today. And students, as Anurag has said just now, so kindly keep improving yourself, make yourself a distinct identity, distinct brand, and position yourself, and make your resumes have distinct qualities which you have, which you can share in the interview. So thank you, Anurag. And I would disagree with you of being, not a good singer, because he sings quite well. And in the end, before vote of thanks, if you all agree, and if Anurag agrees, we'll look forward to your song also.
We will make them sign listening at their own risk. He will sing. He said he will sing.
Okay. Okay. So now we are going to share the digital profile of Mr. Murali Sahu.
Mr. Murali Manohar Sahu is an accomplished HR professional and distinguished motivational speaker. He currently holds the position of Head HR at AMNS India Mining Division, which is a part of the renowned ArcelorMittal and Nippon Steel Group in India. This division stands as a leader in the steel manufacturing industry with an impressive production capacity of 8 MTPA, underlining Mr. Sahu's significant role in a prominent sector of the Indian economy. Mr. Sahu's educational journey is impressive. With a master's in social work from Vishwa Bharati University, Santiniketan, and a master's in human resource management from Pondicherry University. He is currently pursuing a PhD in management at Amity University, Raipur, with a research focus on enhancing employee engagement for improved organizational performance and productivity. With 18 years of expertise, Mr. Sahu's career began as a management trainee at Aditya Birla Group. Over the years, he has held pivotal middle and senior level leadership positions in renowned organizations, including Reliance, Asian Heart Institute, ASI Hospital, and Jaiswal Neco. His diverse experience spans HR, industrial relations, administration, sales and marketing, operations, and more. In addition to his corporate achievements, Mr. Sahu is a multifaceted professional. He is an accomplished motivational trainer, career coach, and entrepreneur. His influence extends to academia, where he serves as a visiting faculty member at various management and engineering institutes. He plays a pivotal role in government skill development drives and has garnered numerous HR awards, over 50 in total, from both national and international platforms, recognizing his innovative contributions to people management practices. Sir, Amity Business School welcomes you.
When so many students are sitting here, so such low volume clapping is there.
So, shall I start, ma'am?
So may I now request Mr. Murali Sahu, Head HR, ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel India, to kindly begin his deliberation.
Yeah, good afternoon all. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so thank you all. Firstly, the Chetna ma'am and the students, basically they have after me for this session. And I'm sorry I could not make it personal because there are some organization assignment I have to handle it. And I did love to be there as a physically, but sometimes it's beyond our control. But anyway, I've enjoyed a lot since morning. I have heard a lot of my colleagues. They have spoken a lot about the HR, the new initiative, the kind of improvements they're bringing into the system and practices, and how this is going to impact the HR. Anyway, the topic I have been assigned to speak about the challenges that we face about the talent acquisition and the retention, and how we can overcome, or what are the strategies that the organization is applying for particularly this thing. Okay, so before start, I'll just say, I also, whenever Amity comes, I feel it's a part of my, I'm a part of Amity alumni, and I'm currently distinguished, I'm doing my PhD in Amity. So it is always in my heart. So, okay, I'll just quickly share my screen, and you just let me know whether my screen is very visible or not.
Yes.
So is it visible? Shall we start? My screen is visible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So this is the topic that I'm supposed to deliver. So challenges of talent acquisition and the retention in the digital age. So let's start with a very good quote. One of my senior HR colleague of Capgemini. HR need to become digital to attract, retain, and engage talent in a digital world. So, hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So the basically now every organization, they are focusing more on the HR transformation. They are talking about HR digitalization. They are talking about how we can get more into AI, or you can say the automation, all these aspects. So there are many aspects that falls under, but as per the Jan, it will be talent acquisition, talent management, engagement, and compensation benefit. These 4 key aspects that always influence over the or you can say we should always careful, rather you can say more focus about these areas. Okay, I'll just quickly share some of the data, or you can say the research what we found. You can say this is the basic general life cycle of any HR guys. They can they're day in day out, they're following through this kind of life cycle management, whether making the strategies for the workforce, attracting the talent, recruiting, onboarding, L&D, reward recognition, performance progression, and retention or exit. So it is very clearly said, if you can't handle your employees, they'll leave you, right? So every HR, it is a key responsibility to retain their employees at most at very ethical way, or you can say it should have that strategy to retain the employees, so that your organization should not face any issues, particularly in the terms of losing the production productivity, or you can say overall it's a smooth functioning of the organization. So for that, many organizations, they do a lot of things for the employee retention. So there are some figures, you can say what basically we face in challenges that we face in the talent acquisition. You can say 63% of recruiter says talent shortage is their biggest problem. When rather I can say I can throw some light from my experience. We are now dealing with the mining people, so it's a very difficult field. Rather, I can say one of the most challenging job in the country, and you can say many of the miners, they are either located in the remote area. So to hire a single person, we have to recruit we have to conduct an interview of 30-40 sometime. So it is really challenging, and despite of that also, you will not find a good person who can be helpful for your organization. So this is the major issue. We can say we have a talent shortage. 76% hiring managers, they admit attracting the right job candidate is their great challenges. The same thing we face. 75% of people says they talk the job with the company that had bad reputation. Organization reputation matters a lot. I have experienced few organizations because of their culture, people, they don't want to go. They're rather feel happy, whatever they're doing, whether they're getting less salary or whatever it is, but they prefer to stay in the current company rather going to a bad organization where they think their job or their career will be in a problem. 70% of global workforce is made up of passive talent who are not actively job searching. If you can see, you can just ask yourself, maybe there are 100% sitting there. For any job, when it comes to maybe in social media, in any forms it comes, we just start in applying, but passively we try to look at that particular job, but rather after some time we think, okay, leave it. We are not very much focused about the this job right now. Let's continue our own job. So there is a very passive talent who are not actively looking for the job search. They know, okay, they are looking for change. There is a need of change, or there is a problem they're facing in the current organization. But because of some kind of, you can say, rather I can say the easiness, or you can say their comfortness, they're not very much keen on moving from the one job to another one. 60% of job seeker quit online jobs application midway. We have also many people, those who have experienced these things. They have when there is a job, they start applying, but so much lengthy questions, so much complexity are there. Midway they'll leave this. Okay, we don't have time to fill up, so leave it. 40% of recruiters says the entry-level positions are the hardest to fill. Though we do a lot of campus hiring and other things, but we always find a lot of difficulties. You can say, if you analyze last 3-4 years data, particularly post-COVID, the kind of education, the kind of changes, the transformation that was happened, like the kind of, when you go for the campus, rather I can say, like last 2 years, we have done the campus in my previous organization. To hire 100%, we have initiated hiring of 3,000, 4,000 engineers, or you can say the management students, to find only 100%. So how it is difficult, right? 75% recruiters said that they have seen a candidate change their mind after signing an offer letter. It happens with us many times. I think my HR colleague, they can also speak about that. I think 40 to 45% people, they take the offer, but they didn't turn off. They don't join your organization. They do the back bargaining, or they do something, change their mind in the last stage. 75% of recruiters have the notice an increase in the salary negotiation from their candidate. Like it is another issue. Like many of people, we find case 75 recruiters have negotiated on increasing salary negotiation. Like you have organization, there is a budget, you can't go beyond budget, but there are many people, those who ask to higher salary that you can't offer. That is another problem. The best candidate are of the market in 10 days. If you can't hire a good candidate within 10 days, you'll find he's joining another company. So these are the few key challenges I think we are facing in the day-to-day life. There are many others also, but a recent research speaks about this. So what do we have to do? What strategy will apply so that we can hire the best talent? So these are the some. You can see in organization, there are many organizations, the referral policy is so strong, and they promote, particularly I have seen in IT, some of the companies, they're really focusing more on the employee referrals. Then there are a lot of schemes available. Focusing on employer branding, you need to focus more on your branding. Like now, everybody, if they want to join somewhere, they first go to the Glassdoor, they'll check whether the employer is good, what is the feedback they have received from the previous employees, what is the fact they've gathered, or in social media, they'll go for the reviews, then only they join. So you need to have a strong branding to attract good talent, right? Virtual recruiting now, everybody we are doing, because physically it is sometimes not possible everybody to attend the interview. So we need to focus more on the virtual, because now everything is being either through mobile, through laptop, or through any sorts of method you can conduct in that virtual recruitment. It makes things easier. Gamify the recruitment process. We should not go with the same old, written group discussion and other things. There are many organizations now, they're coming up with new strategy of gamifying the recruitment process. So collect data and analysis. Collect data analysis is very important, because you can analyze who is your competitor, what is the competitor salary, what are the people's, what is the talent available in the market? What is the talent, what is the, you can say their wages and salary they're getting. So their qualification, everything you can analyze. Then the most important point, you should focus on DI, diversity and inclusion. Now every organization, they are talking about DI, and we should focus more on the DI part. And as an organization, particularly AMS, we are having a target of at least 20 to 25%, women employee, or you can say the mixed group of employees. Building talent communities. It's a new concept that is now, again, every organization, they're trying to develop the focusing on the building the talent communities. You can say whether HR, marketing, you can take anything. Then start talent mapping. All the big organizations, particularly if you look at the MNCs, or you can say Indian MNCs or big organizations, they're more focusing on the talent management, because the idea is to not only have the talent, at the same time nurturing and giving a career path to the talent. That is more important, right? So there are some strategies that we are using across. Then say for example, what are the major challenges that we face in the retention? Because recruiting, you have done the recruitment, but where the challenges you are facing in the retention, particularly dissatisfaction of the salary. People have a very tendency, they compare their salary with others. Okay. So what happened, that created a lot of dissatisfaction. Suppose, for example, you are working here with a sort of some position, right? So tomorrow, one person joined with a higher salary. They start immediately, start comparing. The moment you compare, then dissatisfaction happen. So that is a major, you can say, challenges, or you can say for the returning employees. Job opportunities. We don't have the job opportunity, right? There are a lot of job opportunity available in the market immediately. Suppose earlier it is not clear. Earlier only we wait for the accent that comes in the Times of India, or maybe recruitment post, or maybe some newspapers. But now you just open the mobile, you'll find a lot of job opportunities. Right? Lack of appreciation and lack of respect. Organization is valued and respected, then only they'll continue to stay with your organizations. So if you not value any employees, if you not appreciate their hard work, they'll leave. Okay. And similarly, a bad hire. If you hire a bad person, there is a chance he'll spoil many. So you should be very careful about the bad hire. Then another one is poor communication. Whatever you do in organization, the communication plays a vital role, and we should connect to everybody. Like I always use a word that is called HR Connect. HR should connect to each and every employees, right? So that is the aspect you can communicate, because a wrong communication can create a lot of issues for the organization. Then problematic manager. There are many managers. Because of them only the people leave the organizations. So you need to identify them. You need to work on their correcting their behavior, or you can help them in improving their behavior. Gallup is an organization, they do a study on Q12. Okay, so basically they try to understand whether the manager is behaving properly or not. Manager, there are some, basically Q12 is focusing on how the person is working in particular organization, how his manager, his team, how is helping the organization to learn and grow. Okay, workload, you need to understand the workload also. We can't just give just a lot of workload to employees, and so that they're unable to perform better. Culture, you should build a good culture only, then only your people can retain, because of that, otherwise the retention will be less. Lack of flexibility. What happened, COVID given us a very good lesson about the flexi working, or you can say work from home and other things. And you should not be rigid all the times. Okay, you should think whether if an employee needs some flexibility, you should provide that. Otherwise, you are going to lose that person. Lack of employee development. End of the day, you should focus on the development. What today I'm working here, what I'm learning as a student, as an employee, as a HR, as a management, what you are learning today. If you're not learning today, or maybe in a week, in a month, it becomes monotone type of work. So you need to more focus on the learning and development, right? These are some of the statistics that I want to share. Companies with an effective onboarding process boost new hire retention by 82%. Suppose I think I can explain it very well, but I think the time, I don't know how much time I have. So, basically, if you looked at the companies, those who have a very good, robust onboarding process, that help the employees to change the mindset from the date of joining only. Okay, whether I'll continue with this organization or I'll leave this organization. So the very fast impression should be very great. Rather, we can say pre-onboarding, onboarding, and post-onboarding. Now we are focusing on that type of activities, right? Companies that provide the option for remote works that I've already discussed, to allow employees to work, that lower your turnover by 25%. 79% would decline a job for in action against unethical behavior. If the organization practice unethical behavior, if the organization is focusing more on the corruption, or you can say not justifying the things, or there are a lot of unethical practices going on, you can say there are 79% people that decline the job. 77% of companies focus on employees' experience to increase retention. So, like, if you focus more on the increasing employee experience, your retention will be better. Organization with a recognition, rich cultural, you can say, rich culture have a lower voluntary turnover rate up to 31%. 35% workers says they'll quit if they don't get a raise. So basically, if there will be no salary hike, people are going to leave. The average employee exit cost will be 16 to 213% on their annual salary. If a good person will leave you, sometime if bringing a new person, it will cost you more. Sometimes the production loss, maybe the process issues, or you can say they could not, the new person cannot deliver properly. So there is a chance. It varies organization to organization. Okay, human resource lead to admit employees burnout. You need to focus more on you need to work on these issues. You should not feel your employee feel burnout in the workplace. So proper work-life balance is required. 8 out of 10 employees would seek a new job offer once a bad day at work. Suppose you must be very careful. Not only you, the managers, every employee need to be careful. Any single bad incident that can lead there is a chance the employee lose the job, or they look for the new opportunity. 70% would leave a company for better development and learning. Because if there is no development, you can say 70% people will go for because of this reason. So it is not for only one organization. There are many organizations. We have the data is being collected, and this is the figure. So it may varies from organization to organization. Maybe there are 2-3 things applicable to one organization. Maybe other things are applicable to other organizations. But invariably, this is the scenario. So what strategy you can add up? We should build employee engagement. We should work more on the employee engagement. Get recognition reward right. Recruit the right employees. Create an exceptional onboarding experience. Provide avenue for the professional development. Build a culture where employees want to be part. Offer winning incentives. Then manage to retain. You have to make some retention strategy. Either you can give some retention bonus. You can make some CEPs kind of continuing education program. There are many things you can bring into retaining the people. Prevent burnout. You have to focus on that part and focus on employee wellness, right? Maintain open and ongoing communication. These are the few steps if you take, then I think the retention will be better. So you can say what basically AMNS does as an organization, recruiting people from diverse backgrounds that I've already mentioned. We and focus on the learning culture. Leadership development, our main focus. Our manpower is currently around 8,000, and I think by 2035 we are just 4 times bigger, and our manpower will be around close to 26 to 30,000. Structure onboarding process. You have to focus on more on onboarding. Then promote work-life balance across the organization. Celebrate every occasion, whether it is small or big. That makes the bonding among the employees. So we do that very well. Focus more on the employee experience and job satisfaction. Pay as per the market standard. Young manager engagement program. We have GTDT or MT programs. That growth opportunity to employees, best work culture, robust reward recognition programs. These are the some initiatives that we're taking in the AMNS to better retention. Okay, so what should be the role of HR in a digital era? Like whenever any digital things comes, there is always a fear, okay, we lose the job or digital AI is going to replace us. It is not going to happen, right? And rather HR plays a very critical role in all the digital transformation, right? Is in what happened? Digital transformation is enabled by technology, but driven by people. You must be clear about these things. Okay, no digital transformation can happen without people. HR plays a critical role in digital transformation by managing the culture and the organization challenges. Digital change is much more than technology. It is about the people involved and affected by it. Okay, so it is always, because if you bring a change, but when the people will not use the technology, what is the use of that technology? Okay, people should adopt that. Okay, it is easier to implement a technology, but much harder to prepare the organization to adopt it. You can bring anything SAP, you can bring AI, you can bring a lot of things, but you must prepare your organization to accept that. To reinforce how people will organize or prepare for the new skill set or required it. So, okay, being HR, it is your responsibility to build a new skill set for your of your employees, so that organization can adapt to the change. HR can be a game changer in digital transformation by driving the business through innovation and collaboration. So you can say at last, I'll closing with this point, okay, HR is a game changer. So we have very critical role to play in each and every aspect of digital transformation, and or you can say new age digital era, whatever you say. HR role will be going to be always critical, and it will be important. So I think I've taken a lot of time. So thank you. If any questions, we can discuss. Thank you.
So thank you, Mr. Sahu. As Mr. Sahu has said that there is shortage of right talent, especially entry level positions are difficult to fill. So the students, brace yourself up for the challenge and make yourself the right talent, so that the companies, when they are coming for recruitment, they are going to select you. So thank you, Mr. Sahu. And now we'll share the digital profile of Mr. Himansh Avasthi.
No.
Mr. Himansh Avasthi has 6 years of diverse HR experience spanning multiple industries, including automobile, defense, small arms, steel, oil and gas, and composite. He is ambitious and actively seeks career growth opportunities that come with challenges and responsibilities. He holds a PGDM and a BBA and is committed to continuous learning. In his current role as an HR executive at Jindal Stainless Limited in Gurgaon since June 2022, Mr. Himansh is responsible for various HR functions, including talent acquisition, recruitment budgeting, campus recruitment, performance management, and employee relations. He manages 4 verticals: Jindal Defense and Aerospace, Jindal Small Arms, Jindal Advanced Material Private Limited, and Jindal Infra Private Limited. Mr. Himansh's educational background includes technical qualifications like NIE-LIT's course on computer concepts. He specializes in human resource and marketing through his PGDM. He also proficient in using HRMIS software such as Darwinbox, Pulse, and Savvy HRMS. Sir, Amity Business School welcomes you.
A very good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Avasthi, for joining online. He was not well actually, otherwise he was supposed to be here with us physically in the campus. But nevertheless, thank you for joining online.
Thank you so much, everyone. Let's जिन्हें मंजिल पे है चढ़ना, वो शिकवा नहीं किया करते. जो शिकवे पे उलझे हैं, वो मंजिल नहीं पहुंचा करते. So a very good afternoon, the ladies and gentlemen. I, Himanshu Avasthi, as HR of the Jindal Stainless Steel, would welcome you today's the HR Summit, the 2023. Thank you. I would not been able to attend this due to some certainty and due to an accident got. So, should I share my screen?
Yes, sir.
It is visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, thank you, everyone. So, I stand over here by the topic of the workplace learning and development. So, what is workplace learning and development? So, workplace learning and development really play a very important role in every organization. And I believe that learning involves the change in behavior. Let's take an example that a person is studying in an MBA for 2 years. There would be a drastic change in their behavior. A person who got a training like a sales executive, there would be a drastic change in their behavior. It means that learning is always the ongoing process. It is a continuous process, and there is no age limit of learning. So when as a student are over here, and they have also been done the internship. So while doing the internship, they also know about the corporate world, and they also learn that what kind of atmosphere is over there in an organization. So when we are talking about the learning, so the future of the workplace of the learning is number one, that is experimental. The concept of the human emotions and the relevant of the experience of the learning to the memory. The second is work integrated. The work integrated is always the providing the learning to the employee when they are needed in during the day-to-day working and their task. Blended, delivering the learning through the mix of the digital's hands and experience to make it the more accessible and scalable. Today we are also using the different digital platform, that is Darwinbox, Pulse, Savior, to make the paperless of the HR. Lifelong, if I talking about the lifelong, that offering the professional and the personal development and the contribution to the works of the ongoing of the future and the employability. So when we are, this is a one graph where we see the scenario of today's of 2023, that's mostly increased in technologies. Everywhere we are using the LinkedIn, we are using the Naukri portals, the technologies plays are taken the place today and play a very important role towards all the people. Now, when we are talking about enhancing the skills and the performance of the employee by one, so that is a core concept. Now, what is a core concept? That is one, that is competency. So everyone should know their competencies over here, that what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, what are the opportunities and the threats. But when we are talking about the organizations, so there we work on two, that is the operational competencies and the target competencies. Operational competencies, that's we work through the day-to-day and activities related to the high productivity and high performance. But when we are talking about the target competency, so it depends on the future. That's what the future it would be. हम लोग कई बार 10 years के लिए प्लान बनाते हैं, हम लोग कई बार 15 years के लिए long term plans बनाते हैं. Now it's gone. Now we work on VUCA. VUCA for the competencies of any persons or anyone. Now, what is VUCA? So VUCA stands for the volatility, uncertainty, complex, and ambiguity. So this is a model what we are working to the current scenario of every organizations should have to be adopted. Number one is volatility. That is a rate of change. Uncertainty. Under what the present. Uncertainty about the present means related to the long-term goal and the short-term goals. Ambiguity. The lack of clarity about the meaning of an event. And complexity, there's a multiple key of decisions. We should always have to make a goal, even the short-term goals or the long-term goals. क्या आप कभी ऐसी गाड़ी में बैठना चाहेंगे जो पता ही नहीं कि वो जा कहाँ रही है? I hope no one. So we should have to make a plan. We have to make a goal to achieve, and we have to we have to be stand after the 1 year or 2 years. So that's is been a very important. So after that, we over here is like a work, technology, and the people. If we are talking about the technology, so it's been a changing, it is changing by day to day and activity. अगर हम टेक्नोलॉजी की हम बात करें, if 20 to 30 years back we are using the petrol vehicles, now we are using EV का जमाना है. अब सुनने में आ रहा है कि now we are using हाइड्रोजन आने वाला है. So because of the changing the technology, so every area, every domain, the technology changes much and much faster. So the future word, if we are talking about the organizations, means एक employees की क्या competency होनी चाहिए. So we always use the metrics, that is skill metrics and the behavior metrics. So that we can understand what the potential of the candidate should have. हम लोग technicals भी देखते हैं and the socials also. It is also being adopted by the performance assessments. Every organization has a different set of the parameters, that is a vision, missions, and goals. The vision is translated to strategy is translated to actionable plan, and actionable plan is related to the organizations. And that is a sum of all the functions. Even we are talking about HR, even marketing, even the sales, productions, all having a set of one vision. So let's take an example of an HR, means HR being connected with the goals. So the company goal as per strategy, and the strategy is aligned with visions. So these all were interconnected with one and another. When we are talking about the appraisals, academic में when you आप जैसे college में हो तो आपकी performance education से academic से judge की जाती है. जब हम organization की बात करते हैं तो वहाँ पे performance के base पे आपकी appraisals, assessment, internal assessments we can judge. And there is a different kinds of methods to judge the performance assessment. Number one is like a 360-degree appraisal, MBO, management by objective, BAR, behavior anchored rating methods, and the number of the things what we are using. Means everyone should having the skill matrix of the employee so that we can judge and know the competency of the people. So this is a roadmap of the performance assessments, what we are doing for like the goal of the year or the goal of the second year of down the stream. So this is all about the workplace enhancing and enhancing the performance of an employee. And if I say about the success mantra, so the success mantra for the student is a 3 vitamin. Now, what is a 3 vitamin? That is ABC. That is your attitude, behavior, and communication. So now when you went to an organization, when you opt for an interview, if we say and take an example, so when you open the door, your attitudes starts from there. आप जब चल के आते हो organization interview में, so attitude starts from there. When you pull the chair and you sit, that's your behavior. And when you start the giving to the communication, giving to the interview, so that's the interview started, that is communication. So I always hope that you should be work towards these things, and these are the 3 vitamin ABC of success mantra. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Himansh Awasthi. So students, we are living in a VUCA environment. Everything is very volatile. So you all need to be flexible and adaptable to survive in this type of environment. So here we come to the end of the deliberation session of the HRs. So I think the students, all of you should give standing ovation to our distinguished guests. So all of you are so very fortunately, all of you are so very fortunate that you could hear the opinions of all the industry stalwarts. So now to carry forward the session, I would like to invite Dr. Kamini.
Thank you, Cheta ma'am, for calling me. Curiosity is a mind in search of knowledge. It creates opportunities, empathy, and growth. The mind that opens to new idea never returns to its original size. The power to question is the basis of all human progress. Good afternoon, everybody. Today, we have heard our eminent dignitaries, and I'm sure that everyone present over here will take 1 or 2 life career mantra to follow and excel in life. It's a great opportunity for the audience to put their queries at rest. People are here, they will answer you. Whatever you want to know, you can ask them. So it's a golden opportunity for you. I invite questions from the audience. Especially students, it's a golden opportunity for you to have one-to-one interaction with the people who are going to hire you for your corporate life.
You can raise your hand, students. Yes.
Please tell your name, your college name, and then ask your question.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Natasha Kumari. I'm from Amity University. I'm pursuing MBA. I'm in MBA first semester right now. My question is from Ms. Brishti Mondal ma'am. Ma'am, how do you balance the unique challenges and opportunities in HR operations across the different locations like Kolkata, Bangalore, and Malaysia?
Good question. This is audible. Okay. So, it's difficult, right? But it's the more it's challenging, I think it's more, there's a lot of opportunity. Now, I've been fortunate to kind of, look after women to that extent, Romania, which is a very, very different culture. But that's where, HR comes into the place, right? Where you kind of, tie up those thoughts and make sure you build up a team. Like you have to build up a very coherent team. You have to, again, I always say that, communication is the key. whatever form, whatever you do in the organization, keep communicating, keep, building up a team. And, when you get into that kind of a, position where you need to kind of look after so many centers, which are of very different nature, culturally, even sometimes not only culturally, even the kind of work also they do. Bangalore would have been the sales team, Calcutta, Romania, typically R&D organizations and all. And there's always a fight, between the sales guys and the R&D product development guys and all. So one of the key things we have done, 7-8 years, I have been delivering a lot of training. L&D was one of my favorite things. Whenever I deliver training, these are like small, examples I can just cite. Whenever I deliver trainings, my batch would, 2 from sales, 2 from, from the R&D, 2 from pre-sales and those kind of people. And you make them do a lot of role plays and all. Otherwise, they're not talking to each other. That's the usual culture in any organization which has global presence. And then when you kind of, start hiring also, right, you look at diversity, which is very, very important. When you look at your leadership team also, for that matter, when you look at leaders, not, from a particular region, you have to have leaders from different kinds of, they bring in intelligence, they bring in cultural diversity, they bring in a lot of, different level of emotional quotient. And I think that's one of the key things, just not looking at, having leaders from IITs and all, we do a lot of emotional, EQ is coming up in such a social quotient. EQ, why is it becoming so important? You have to bring in all those elements are becoming more and more important to them because it's a global workforce. And those are the things you have to kind of do. And for people like you, when you enter an organization, right, and look beyond your, very comfort zone. We typically see very, if I hire people from Patna, if I hire people from Delhi, very practically, they would just club together, right? And we make a very, we make that effort to make sure, we put them into groups or teams, very different cultures, they're very, very different backgrounds, very different types. They need to learn from each other. That's the kind of grooming we try to do, and we also, that's one of the biggest things that we try to send where people, whether very, very young, in 2 years, 3 years on-site opportunities. That's where, that's the key, you mold them, in that direction. Because it's a challenge for them, but it's very, very important. You allow them to be in that particular challenge. And as youngsters, I think you have to take up this challenge. I think I was just 3 years out of college and I was sent to, places where, it was like alien for me. Having studied in India and, suddenly you go to places where, even Romania for that matter, they don't even do their coding in English. They do it in their own language. It was like, okay, and what next? At that age, you are asked to, okay, let's have wine after a meeting. I was like, okay, that's a culture shock. But you have to kind of imbibe and you have to respect. That's the most important. You have to respect each and every culture, whether, whichever part you are working with, you have to respect. It is a lot of learning. Thank you so much. Hope I answered your question.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Natasha. Thank you, Vishnu ma'am. Anyone else?
A very good afternoon to everyone. Ma'am, my name is Rashi Ranjan. I am from Chandragupta Institute of Management. My question is from you, ma'am, that do you think building informal relationship is more important during hybrid work?
Informal relationship?
Yeah,
I think it is the most important thing, and I'll tell you why. Typically in Kolkata, I've seen this culture, going down 10 times for a smoke and going down 15 times for a cha. So, we miss those. And I think the kind of, discussion which happens over the chai and the smoke break, it's phenomenal. Let me tell you. And especially, I've always been into R&D divisions and I've seen that innovation happens there, not inside, the lab. So I think it's very important, and that's why I say, while we embrace hybrid more, and that's important, right? Lead of the hour also, otherwise you won't get talent. There are so many people who want to work from so many places. It's important to make sure they have that informal talent. Bring them to office, having the managers, make sure have some play with them,
Hello.
and those kind of, so informal, it's a key thing, You understand the cues, you understand the vibes, and all those things.
And do you think, ma'am, that this is the best way to fulfill the gap?
I wouldn't say it's the best way, it's definitely a better way, right? There is, again, different organizations have different kinds of culture, right? And it's the need, the business, need of, like if you go, I have a sales force, I have a pre-sales force in Bangalore, you wouldn't believe, after office hours, the kind of informal sessions they have, right? And that's where business happens. So I think it's very, very important. Not the best way, maybe, might not work for all kinds of organizations, there could be certain restrictions, but it's definitely very, very important.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like to share very happily that we have students from more than 7 colleges apart from Amity. They are present over here. So a big round of applause for all the participants here. Next question, please.
Hello and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ria, and my question is to Mr. Himanshu Awasthi, the HR of Jindal Polyfilms.
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. I hope I'm audible to you.
Yeah. You are
Sir,
audible.
please see today's scenario. The artificial intelligence is taking over the actual work of humans, and the world is seeing a paradigm shift. So, as an HR manager, what suggestions would you give to meet the future needs of the workplace?
Changing to the scenario, yes, there is a different different like AI has been came, but somehow the talent acquisition play a very important role. That no any software can be take a place of talent acquisition. So it always be an ongoing process, because the no software can be take about the emotional and intellectuals. No, so that can be only be judged by a person only. So the talent acquisition has always been boom, and it always be.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next question, please. I can very well see there are so many curious minds over there having so many questions. It's very happy sight. Please.
मेरा नाम रणदीप पटेल है मैम। मेरा नाम रणदीप पटेल है और मैं एम कॉलेज पटना से हूँ। मेरा सवाल है डॉक्टर चैतन्या सर ने स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट के बारे में बात की। अगर किसी को पर्सनल लाइफ में स्ट्रेस है और वो जहाँ काम कर रहे हैं तो वहां पे किसी भी तरह का प्रॉब्लम ना हो, उसको कैसे मैनेज किया जाएगा? सॉरी या तो रणदीप, मैं आपके सवाल का जवाब देता हूँ। कहीं भी आप किसी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में काम करेंगे या कहीं घर पे रहेंगे या कहीं भी किसी फ्रेंड के साथ बैठ के बात करेंगे तो आपको कहीं ना कहीं किसी न किसी लेवल का स्ट्रेस होगा। उसको आपको कैसे मैनेज करना है ये आपको डेवलप करना पड़ेगा। आपको अपने क्वेश्चंस को मैनेज करना पड़ेगा। आपका इमोशनल क्वेश्चन क्या है, आपका इंटेलिजेंस क्वेश्चन क्या है, इन सारी चीजों को मैनेज करके हमारे यहाँ जितने भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हैं, जैसे हमारा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन अर्नेस्ट एंड यंग, तो हमारे यहाँ प्रॉपर काउंसलर होते हैं जो जितनी भी तरह की प्रॉब्लम्स होती है स्ट्रेस की उसको वो मिटिगेट करते हैं। वो लोगों से बात करते हैं। रेगुलर बेसिस पे हम लोग एक मेंटरशिप प्रोग्राम रखते हैं और एक काउंसलरशिप प्रोग्राम रखते हैं। तो हर एक बंदे का एक काउंसलर होता है जो उनके डे इन डे आउट के जितनी भी एक्टिविटीज हैं उनको मैनेज करता है और उनके स्ट्रेस लेवल को भी देखता है कि वो कितना स्ट्रेसफुल है। तो उनको उतना ही काम दिया जाता है जितना कि उनके लिए पॉसिबल है। कभी कभी हम लोग स्ट्रेच करते हैं क्योंकि हम लोग गवर्नमेंट में काम करते हैं तो गवर्नमेंट के जो प्रोजेक्ट्स होते हैं वो स्पेसिफिक टाइमलाइन के साथ होते हैं, तो कभी कभी स्ट्रेस लेवल बहुत ज्यादा होता है। लेकिन इसमें मैनेजर का रोल बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है क्योंकि मैनेजर जो होते हैं वो जानते हैं कि स्ट्रेस लेवल अगर ज्यादा हो जाएगा तो काम अच्छे से नहीं हो पाएगा। तो उनको किसी न किसी तरह से अपने जॉबियल मूड से अपने टीम को मोटिवेट करते रहना होता है जिससे कि उनका स्ट्रेस लेवल डाउन हो। और हमेशा एक चीज ध्यान रखना होता है, हमारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है वी हैव टू बी वेरी काइंड टू एवरीबॉडी. काइंडनेस इज मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग इन आवर लाइफ. तो अगर काइंडनेस नहीं है, आप किसी को भी बहुत जोर से नहीं बोल सकते, आप किसी को डांट नहीं सकते, तो ये थोड़ा डेवलप करने में टाइम लगता है, लेकिन वंस अक्रॉस द टाइम 5-6 साल में ये आप डेवलप कर लेंगे कि आपके जोर से बोलने से आपके काम पे कोई असर नहीं पड़ने वाला है, वो बेटर नहीं होने वाला है. तो अगर आप पेशेंटली बहुत माइल्डली किसी भी चीज को मैनेज कर सकते हैं तो वो सबसे सक्सेसफुल हो सकता है. थैंक यू सर.
Thank you for the question. Next, please.
Good afternoon, ma'am and sir. First of all, thank you for having here. Myself, Abhishek Kumar from PM College. My question is to Anurag Kirti sir. With the advent of new software and other similar technological tools, many of the tasks and responsibility has been done by automated mode. So, as a HR manager, what do you think it's a opportunity or a challenge?
So I think it's the whole question about AI and the technology, right? So the HR itself stands for human resource, right? So we cannot remove that human factor. First thing. When it comes to AI or any new technologies, it's just to amplify human potential. Okay? So maybe those hygiene things we used to do in offices, right? The same some same queries running on say every Thursday or every Wednesday, those things getting automated. But as part of an HR or a recruitment part, definitely that human touch is very important. Even though we are connecting drives in a virtual mode, but if we go back and see, I think the scenario in 2018, 2019, that time I think people used to, and not only from the employer side, also from the students side, they used to feel more confident. Otherwise, half of the time you are just, am I audible? You are audible. Am I visible? You are visible, right? So half of the confidence goes when you are ready for the interview and internet goes off. Okay, or all of a sudden, all the DJ walas, start playing around your home, and you are just lost in. So it's very, very important when you talk about technology. Yes, it's very, very important. Right now, we are living in a unlimited plans, right? I remember, in fact, 5-6 years back, 500 MB per a month. Okay, and we used to use our internet very judicially. That okay, 10 MB gone. But right now we are in unlimited. Right? So rather than making reels, how we leverage it, making and understanding technology, because it's all about amplifying the human effort in the better way. But all doing AI and everything. The important part of this is responsible and ethical use of this AI and any technology which are talking about, right? So ethical use is very, very important, and I think every organization is now talking about it. That responsible and ethical use of AI and other technologies. So, okay, I hope it answers.
Thank you very much. Next question, please. Manali.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Kashish, currently pursuing PGDM from Chandragupta Institute of Management, Patna. So my question is from Anurag Kirti sir. Sir, how do you prioritize or balance your short-term goals with your long-term goals?
Personally speaking, I am always in the present. Okay, so if I'm Monday to Friday, as the ma'am knows me well, sir knows me well, I'm into my work. Okay, I'm very passionate about things. Whatever I'm doing, right? If I'm in some strategy meeting or any calls or any office activities, you should always be in the present. When you start making too much, I remember my days when my mother used to tell that we have to study, and I used to make the routine, right? And we hardly used to follow that, right? So when you start making everything very formal, so when it comes to short-term and long-term goals, it depends. It's your call, right? What you want to do. I knew from the very beginning that I'm not an I8. I won't go for an I8, right? So I'm a people person. So it's very important to understand yourself. the way we stand in front of the mirror and click our own selfies, stand in front of the mirror and talk to yourself, be your own audience. And I think then only you will understand as in where are we now, what next, and where you want to position yourself. So when you're making a long or short-term goals, understand as in what are the lack, what are the skill gap, right? And suppose if you want to, you are a management student, right? So suppose a lot of questions, comes, should I go for HR? Should I go for finance? Should I go for marketing, right? So every person has their own perspective, their own opinion. So you should ask yourself as in where you fit in, properly. So accordingly, make your plans, and not only make your plans, follow it, because there are a lot of plans we make, right? But hardly, it's sometimes very difficult to follow them. So make short goals, break them into steps and start aligning yourself as for, your plans and thoughts.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next question, please.
First of all, good afternoon, everyone. My question is to Murli Sahu, sir. Sir, am I audible to you?
Yes, you're audible.
First of all, I'm very happy to see you, sir, here. Thank you for joining with us.
Thank you.
As I am an intern in your organization and your workplace environment was very good. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to work with you. It's my pleasure. So I want to ask you a question. Can you please share us about any unique employee benefits or initiative or policies that you that set your company or ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel apart from the others in mining industry?
Okay, I'll just start with one key point. This organization is very new. It's a joint venture between ArcelorMittal and Nippon Steel. So as an organization, we are only 4-year-old. We have started in 2019, just before COVID. And in 4 years, we have created an impact across India, you can say, as a employer of choice, you can say rather. And because of our policies and some of the initiatives that we are taking across, particularly in the mining field, if we looked at, there are many major players across, whether it is JSW, JSPL, Birla, there are, you can say all the top players are Adani, all top players are there. But when it comes to the recruitment, when I pursue the people, because of the culture, basically, rather I can say. So many people, they look for the culture and they look forward to come to join MNS because of their culture, first of all. Second thing, the organization is very ethical. And recently, we have just taken a call of removing the attendance system. So we perceive that everybody is now present in the organization. There is no attendance, you don't have to punch, you don't have to do anything. And it is your manager, whenever you leave, then only your manager can apply a particular leave, or you can ask your manager in that leave period and you apply by your own. So nobody is there to, so we trust our people so much. That is the idea. Second thing, we have a, you can say the concept is very not new, but again I can say unique, the HR Connect and open forum, or rather we can say the town hall concept we have started for all the employees across the location. That helps us in bridging the gap, communication gap between the organization. We have a very good system called Praise, that is a awards, reward and recognition system. And again, it is just, there is a which followed by CO award and all these things. That helps another people to, there is a healthy competition happen across the organization to get the CO award under this scheme. Then we support the talent management process very rigorously. And rather we can say that this is the first organization I have experienced. We are making a pipeline for one critical position. We are making a 5 pool for them. Priority 1, priority 2, priority 3, priority 4, priority 5. So you can say if there is a one critical position, we are identifying 5 persons who can take up that role. Maybe in 1 year time span, or maybe 2 to 3 years, 3 to 5 years, like that. Then training, we have a global library, and rather I can say where more than I think 1 lakh plus courses are available. Anyone can go and take it. Is completely available to all the users. So Then next move is a very, yeah, you can say, through this next move, we can go to like any continent, like anywhere where our organization is working, whether it's ArcelorMittal, whether it's Nippon or joint venture also. Like they can go to Europe, they can go to, so that is a very good opportunity we provide to everybody. So they can apply. If they're found suitable, they can go there. So then there are other basics. I don't want to take the name, but these are the few initiatives that we are taking very well. Recently, we have just started an initiative called 3M 6M for our onboarding process. Basically, normally when an employee joins, after 7 days or 10 days, HR forget who is the person. So now we have started an initiative called 3M, say, at least 3 months, 6 months. You know, we have to follow up with the candidate so that the experience should be always better, employee experience. So these are the some initiatives that we're taking to for our employees. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sahu. I wanted to thank you for giving opportunity to 3 of our students in your organization. They worked
Thank you,
as
ma'am.
an intern, and it was a valuable experience for them. Thank you so much. I want to thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So,
Hello.
so I'll take your leave. So thank you, everyone. I have one meeting to attend. So thank you, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to interact with you. And hope next time it will be physical. So thank you all,
Thank you.
and thank you everyone.
Next question, please. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. So I am Ankita. I am from NIFT, Masters of Fashion Management, third semester. And I believe that all of us will be, will be in a position where we'll be managing a team, hopefully in just few years. So my question is for everyone here that so what tools and technologies as managers we can use for an effective hybrid workspace, and if there is a metric to even calculate that how what exactly and how it is effective for the people who are actually working in the hybrid workspace. So what, as managers, what can we use, all the tools and technologies? Who would like to address the question to?
So it is an open question. Anyone who's willing to answer can.
An open question in the open house, please.
So, part of this, I tried to answer this when I was giving my session. So just to take you there once again. So actually what happens is that different organizations have different kinds of roles which are available. कि एक particular role से expectation क्या है, काम करना है तो क्या करना. Now basis that there will be a set of roles जो कि identify होंगी कि वो hybrid model में possible है या नहीं, work from home model totally में possible है कि नहीं, या फिर completely work from office है या completely work from the market, depending on what kind of. For example, I'll just give you an example that suppose it is a some backend kind of a role wherein you need to interact with the customers, and your organization suppose it gives you the flexibility कि आप वो calling कर रहे हैं, customers से बात कर रहे हैं, वो आप अपने घर से भी कर सकते हैं. If the organization thinks that it can give you the flexibility, तो आप घर से काम कर सकते हो. That means remote working in that case is possible. However, front-end roles होती हैं जो market roles होती हैं, sales representatives, sales executives, where you have to be physically in the market, in front of the customer-facing roles we call it. There you have to work from the market. Similarly, there will be certain set of roles and responsibilities जहाँ आपको maybe because of office-related infrastructure, office-related tools and equipments that you have to operate from the office only. So it's a combo of things. Basically, the main answer of this hovers around the fact that what kind of a role it is and what the organization wants to extract from it. I hope I was able to partly or fully answer your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
The next question.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nikita, and my question is from Himansh Agasti, sir. I hope you are audible, sir.
Yes, I'm audible.
Okay, as a Jindal Poly firm is specialist in manufacturing and packaging of laminating films of various kinds, and it has a count of more than 2,800 employees working in the organization. So it is very usual to have conflicts between the employees in the organization. So can you describe your experience in employees relation and managing employees relation and resolving the conflicts between the team, as it is very common that employees working in a team will have disputes?
Yes. So if I be talking about the JSL, so JSL is always the first priority is employee oriented. The first priority is employee. So whenever we do the hiring, we do the talent acquisition. So onboarding process, we having the different setbacks, 30, 60, and the 90. We have a proper follow-up with our candidates, whatever he having the query, even to the policies, what we heading in any phase, what he having difficulty, what he is facing. So we always help him out to reach out. In spite of that, we also look to the competencies related to the different types of training कि उसको कौन से एरिया में ट्रेनिंग प्रोवाइड करनी है, कौन सा उसका स्किल सेट में उसको और भी इनहांस करना है. So we also there is a team of the L&D, so that's also work towards the employee. In spite of that, we always motivate the candidate related to the work. In spite of that, providing the reward and recognition, we having the Q1, Q2, and the Q3 that rewards and recognition is being facilitated to the employee related to the work of all the work and culture to the employee and all the organizations. So these all the things what we are enhancing towards the organizations.
So can you please share your experience where you have faced such real life experience, where you have faced such situation and you have handled it?
So it's over here I got a wondrous experience. I handle over there, that is a Jindal Advanced Material, that is a railway composite. In spite of that, I also look the Jindal Defense and Aerospace sector. And we having a recently one more plant has been looking, that is Jindal Small Arms. So in spite of that, I look after the 3 verticals. So if I talking about the experience, yes, it is a great experience that I got in Jindal.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Aspriha Dubey, currently pursuing Bachelor in Business Administration from St. Xavier's College of Management and Technology. My question is from Dristy ma'am. Ma'am, as we all know that we are entering an era where artificial intelligence is replacing humans. So ma'am, can you elucidate that what are the challenges that HR manager face because of emergence of artificial intelligence?
Let me start with an example. Let's say 15, 20 years ago, right? Okay, so we used to go to the banks, take out money, right? And there were people, facing us, right? And then now it comes, you have GPay and you have ATMs and all. How did it take? There was also a challenge that, things are getting automated, people lose their jobs, right? So similarly, I think this is again after a couple of decades, the same question comes back. Now it's AI and XYZ things. And I'm sure if we are going to have something. What it happens is, you're just kind of, something is being taken away. But truly speaking, it's creating opportunity for other things also. Now today, if we talk about AI, right? Now sometimes I'll give very small examples. When we have to create a policy, we probably will tell ChatGPT, with a draft of a policy, we do it. But there is again that human factor has to come into place. Right? What is helping us? You have to look at it in 2 ways. What is helping us if we are saving time? Right? You already have a ready draft, right? You have the intelligence of so many from the world that, you have a very well drafted, policy. But how much are you going to apply? How will you apply? How is your audience going to take it? So there the intellect has to come in. So you're value adding more actually. You are going away as long we are progressing decade over decade, right? The repetitive work, it's going away, taken up by AI, machine learning, ChatGPT, whatever. But it is opening up new avenues. And if you see, if you really go to some of the researches which are being carried out, there are more jobs which are going to open up, more than the jobs which people are going to lose. So the key thing is, all of us, we need to be ready. We have to be very innovative and very creative. And we have to embrace the change. You have to look at it as an opportunity. That's okay, AI is coming, let's do it. I have automated my entire HR system. Now we are looking at what? We're looking at building culture. We're looking at developing the next level of people managers. We're looking at coaching, mentors. 15 years ago, HR, okay, HR was doing transactional job. There was hardly anything known as, what is mentorship? What is coaching? What is developing, new line managers? But thanks to all this technology coming, we are going for better in life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Manish, and currently I am pursuing MBA from Amity University, Patna. So my question is to Mr. Sanjay Nath, sir. Sir, but before asking the question, I would like to thank you and the Indian Post Payment Bank for providing us the internship opportunity, and it was a great learning experience for all of us. So we get to know about some practical knowledge working at your bank. So can you, sir, please share some of the interesting facts about ITPP and how the motive of financial inclusion is being driven by ITPP?
Yes. Thank you so much. What's your name?
Manish.
Manish. Thank you. See, IPPB is part, first of all, understand, India Post, then is the payment bank. It's part of a bigger organization called India Post. And the organization is created basically to transform the bigger organization, to make it more relevant to the current situation, what everybody is talking about, that change is evident, and if you don't change, then you become extinct. Now that's Darwin's law. If you don't change yourself, you become extinct. So it was an existential question for the department to stay relevant. This organization was created by government. And how we are coming, what is our relevance in the system? I will tell you very simple answer. Whenever you used to have an account, you go to a bank, right? General, you go to a bank to apply for an account. You need to produce documents. What are the documents? The KYC documents. This is your address proof, that is your identity proof, and your photograph and your signature. And it needs to take some time. Right? Now, it was not possible for every one of the countries, people, especially the lower strata, to have all kind of documents in place and to get this access of formal banking. So what government saw, that there is a huge gap. It's a huge gap. Even after Jan Dhan, with the government taking so much amount of efforts, still the gap was such huge. There was need for such kind of an organization which would make life easy. You have been in our organization, right? How much time does it take to open an account? You have opened an account? How much time does it take?
3 minutes.
How you do it? It's very easy. You have your Aadhaar card, right? Generally, all the Indians are having an Aadhaar card. What we do, we only need an Aadhaar and a portable mobile. That's it. What do you do it? We fetch your entire details from your Aadhaar database using a e-KYC. During that process, you give your consent. Please use my Aadhaar details to create the account. Right? What is required? Only 2 times your thumb impression and 2 times you get a OTP. That's a 2-factor authentication. You make sure that is you only who is opening the account because your biometrics is there. Government is plugging in crores and crores of fake money being distributed to nameless persons. Government is actually channelizing the actual money to actual beneficiaries. So in this way, when we open an account in such a simple fashion, what is being used? A handheld device. It's a mobile phone and a biometric device, which is easy to carry within a pocket, right? So postman is carrying a mobile and a biometric device, and he's mobile everywhere. So it is, our bank का tagline क्या है? आपका बैंक, आपका द्वार, right? It is your bank at your doorsteps. This is the tagline which actually attracted me. In fact, in my interview, while I was placed in actually from IDBI Bank, I came to this place. This struck me like anything, you know, bank को आप लोगों का doorstep में लेके जा सकते हो with such an ease, such an ease. This was the important factor that government wanted to distribute the DBTs. ये मनरेगा का पैसा, ये पीएम किसान का पैसा, ये गैस का सब्सिडी का पैसा लोगों को उठाने में बहुत तकलीफ होता है. That was a crux which I think brought to those steps. Another thing I would also like to tell you, people had bank accounts also, but they were unable to access the bank accounts due to distance, time, and all those factors. Now I have a state bank account which is at least 10 miles away from my home, but my post office is in my village. Okay, I get an SMS in my mobile that my account has been created with some DBT factors. I approach my postman, please can you help me out to withdraw this money? I use a technology called AEPS, Aadhaar Enabled Payment System. I give my fingerprint and I withdraw the money. What best can be done? This is what we wanted to, and this is what we propagate. We are being another area. We are also propagating micro insurance. We are bringing in the capital markets into the tier 5, tier 6 cities. This is how we want to include inclusive, and we want to give the best of both the worlds to the last time. That is what is IPP. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Indeed, it's a big effort of Indian government and you people helping it out to get it implemented. We are very much obliged to you, and we should say a big thank you to you. A big round of applause for the. Yes, one more question. We will hurry up with the question because I can see so many hands over there. But time is limited.
People want to ask questions, and we have
Yes.
very limited time. So can you please stay for some time? Like there are too many people who want to ask questions. So please.
Okay, we can proceed for few questions. Let's see how much time it takes.
Good afternoon to one and all present. I am Saima Irshad from Ellen Mishra Institute of Economic Development and Social Change. My question is for Anurag Kirti, sir. Sir, networking is considered very important for the students of management, but there is very less outreach for how. Like, if I want to network with you, then what's the correct steps to follow? So, being someone on the other side of table, what do you think is the perfect way to connect with someone or network with people around, so it can advantage or make a leverage for us?
So I think we have a lot of platforms now. I think LinkedIn being one of them. It's very, very important to strike the right conversation. So when you reach out to the leaders, I see a lot of, since I go to a lot of conclaves also, I've seen a lot of leaders saying that the first conversation when students strike says, sir, when are you going to recruit us? Okay. So when are your company coming to our premises? Okay. Is your company hiring this year? Sir, I am from MBA, I am from BC, or I am from BBA. So it's very, very important, all those leaders, respected leaders here, ma'am, sir. There are a lot of messages which keeps on coming to their inbox, right? But when you come with the right question, you must have seen the kind of answers they were giving, detailed explanation and all those things. So when it comes to networking, networking will only happen when you strike the right conversation with the right people.
So for example, like if I'm reaching out to you, so what is the perfect question that should be asked?
Yeah, the perfect question. I think one of the alumni of MET, he's right now in the pro. He asked me one question. I think that's right now I am working in this domain, or I am from a final year student. I am working or I am doing some real time projects on these technologies. Other than library management system, student management system, I think the same project goes year on year, right? So whenever you reaches out to the leader or any technology leader or anyone, tell them that what is your exact ask. Okay, rather than going around saying good morning, good afternoon, hope you are doing good, how are you, and all those stuff. Put your question in one go. Whenever the person will get a chance, definitely they will revert back, because I think from the organization of where I comes, being responsive is one of the habits we practice. In the 5 habits we practice, and it's not always about build a pro, it's not always about saying, we practice. In fact, we are trying to do that, right? So being responsive, so all the leaders will respond back, irrespective of the organization, but please put the question and the right ask. So if you want to reach out to me, definitely whenever the hiring season will start, I will be more than happy to announce it. So when you're reaching out to me, ask that, I'm in the final year of suppose say from engineering background, or say from management, or anything. Engineering, say final year. I'm working on this technology. Do you find this topics relevant? Do you find that industry is looking out for people who are doing some kind of, say cybersecurity, some kind of, a lot of times I see the students say this, I'm doing certifications. One student mentioned, I think last time, he was from Gurgaon, he said that, sir, I did a certification in AI. And I asked, what is AI? Artificial intelligence, that's it. So getting a certification, it's important, it's a legal document, but more than that, all the organizations are now looking out for the learnings which you got from those trainings. So whenever you want to reach out to anybody, keep the right question, give the right ask. There are some people who must be very busy or some kind of the other, but as far as I am concerned, you will always find a quick response from my end. So please go ahead and ask any kind of question, and happy to answer them.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for your time and valuable input. I am Rajiv Nayan, currently pursuing BCA 5th semester from MIT University. My question is from Bristi ma'am, that how does your organization prioritize diversity, equity, and inclusion, and what steps are being taken to foster a diverse and inclusive workplace?
I don't know how much of you all are aware. Anyways, there is some law is coming in, right? There is some equal opportunity law and all those things. Anyways, there is. However, what organizations do now is that which is of immense practice right now. Typically, you probably will find a 15 to 20%, let's say, women employees, right? And in fact, actually nowadays the business unit heads, managers, leaders, vice presidents, they're given a target. So they have this set of performance at present, right? They have some objectives to be met. And what the objective has become, right? How do you create a diverse workforce? So starting from recruitment to promote it, right, into the leadership team. And it is I don't know if you have heard about this term key result area, or let's say it's an object, it's a goal. Now, if you don't do it, your bonus is tied to it, your incentives are tied to it. So that's one of the most important measurable factors, right? The organizations are bringing in. Like these are your 10 goals. You bring in revenue, you bring in XYZ thing, you develop products, XYZ things. One of the very, very key important thing has to become is you bring in diversity. And how do you do it? What are the steps to it? Starting from recruitment, or if you are going for campus. We do a lot of campus. When I'm going for campus, very, we're very focused on making sure that, we have a diverse workforce. There was a time, again, 10, 15 years ago, since I've been in R&D, we were very reluctant to take women, frankly speaking, because R&D calls for a bit of, more tougher times and, late nights and, a little stressful. So, however, things have changed. So how do you do that? To bring in that diversity of having women in the workplace, when when women have to get so many other things, what do? You don't load, right? You give extra opportunities, you give extra benefits, you have a company car, and you make sure that you have someone to drop them off, and you make some changes as policies and practices. I'm very consciously. And there's also diversity training which happens in organization, right? To sensitize people. Okay. companies also need to follow certain, I don't know if anyone is heading HR and admin here, but there are certain things you have to, basic things in the organization. A wheelchair, ease to get into the washroom, slanted, all those things are taken care of, the facility also, promote diversity. And organizations, let's say if they're renting a office space in buildings, they're very conscious about those fact that, let's see the building has all those XYZ things, so that, I make it friendly for different kinds of people. And even in the system also, things have changed. It's no more, the genders are various right, nowadays. We have an option. Okay, I think all multinational companies, all emerging, companies who want to get into diversity. So there's so many checkpoints. So it's not about talking. You have to make those, steps, make it work, make it accountable. Every person is accountable for that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We can take up only one question more, so please.
Hello everyone, I'm Akanksha and I'm pursuing fashion management masters from NEFT Patna. So I have a question for Praveen Lal sir. So sir, we have seen, you talked about gender inclusivity, and I've seen that there are so many companies today that they are, celebrating Pride months. So as a brand manager, what is the role of a brand manager in providing a very gender inclusive environment for co-workers?
So part of your question, I believe, a short while back, she has already answered. But see, what actually happens that when we are focusing on from an equity and diversity perspective, when we are looking at these items, like you mentioned that it is, starting from the workplace for that matter. The office job is little small things which may appear to us as normal human beings because God has given us all those capabilities which we have. I use the word normal. In fact, it's a wrong word. Right? The word should be used as specially people. You know that? So one was this. So starting from small things like suppose someone is having a physical disability, maybe that person is having some issues with walking. So very much obviously, the building needs to be having ramps, slant ramps, etc. A wheelchair. Coming to other aspects, like for example, coming out to the role part, there will be certain roles in the organization. जहाँ की आपको say talk in terms of transgenders also. We're talking so much about transgenders. So we have a call center just to give you about one big example about our organization itself. So we don't have that thing here specific to Patna, but we have a big call center which is based in Mumbai, where we are very much open to hire transgenders. And that facility, you can I'll just give you a brief broad number, is having close to 5,000 transgenders. That in itself, when we are trying it as an organization, the effort, it does take some effort whenever you are trying to roll a ball also, it does take some effort. But once as an organization, as all, as a united force with a common thought process and a common mind, common goal, when we get into that, everything is possible. So I do understand your question. Yes, with changing times, because the kind of progress probably you see in a Patna might be limited. But there is an obvious shift, an obvious change for the better, which all of us will see together. Yes. I hope that answers it.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Hopefully, our dignitaries were able to satisfy your queries. And I can very well understand all the minds are boiling with a lot of queries. but as we have time limitations, we cannot give you more time for that.
We had a whisky of ladies.
Yeah, definitely, sir. And they are still left over there and they are raising their hands now and again. Okay, so with this, I invite Mr. Ashutosh for vote of thanks.
Thank you for inviting me to propose vote of thanks. It's my honor and privilege to extend gratitude on behalf of Amity Business School and Corporate Relations Center. In this National HR Summit on the subject, expanding work horizons, hybrid, inclusive, and digital interface. It is a day of pride as we have successfully conducted the intellectually stimulating knowledge session through this summit. First, I would thank Almighty God with folded hands for being with us and directing us in the right direction. Our event has received the blessings of Honorable Founder President Sir Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan. For this, we are truly thankful to great visionary who dreams of making India knowledge superpower by 2030. My heartfelt gratitude to the Honorable Chancellor Sir, Dr. Atul Chauhan Sir, for his blessings and continuous motivation. I wish to express deepest sense of gratitude to the respected Senior Vice President of Amity Business School and Amity Education Group, Mr. U. Ramachandran Sir, who is a dynamic leader under whose leadership Amity University is reaching new every day. I wish to express my deepest gratitude to the respected Vice President Amity Education Group, Gaurav Gupta Sir, who encourages us for always doing our best. My sincere gratefulness to our respected DC, Dr. Vivekanand Pandey Sir, who is the pillar of wisdom at Amity University, Patna. Sir is the source of energy, efficiency, and encouragement behind all the work at our university. Needless to say that we had excellent orators as our keynote speakers. I would like to express my utmost appreciation and thankfulness to Bristi Ma'am, Vice President HR, Nomura Research Institute, Sanjay Ramdas Sir, General Manager, HR, Johnson's Limited, Praveen Sir, State HR Head, Reliance Jio, Murli Sahuji, Head HR, ArcelorMittal and Nippon Steel, Anurag Ji, Regional Lead, Global Campus Hiring, Mr. Himansh Avasthi, HR Manager, Jindal Polyfilms, Dr. Chaitanya, Associate Vice President, MSME and PhD, ENY LLP, Sanjay Nath Sir, AGM and Circle Head, India Post Payments Bank. I would like to express my gratefulness to Deputy Director, Deputy Registrar, and Dr. Sushil, Deputy Controller of Examination, Amity University, Patna, for their continuous support. The overwhelming response from the participants in evidence of their enthusiasm and the interest in the topic. The successful conduction of HR Summit is not the result of few days, but the result of consistent efforts of several months of the team ABS NCRs. Both teams worked tirelessly and in a very synchronized manner for effective implementation of the program. Any expression of gratitude is not enough for the team effort. My sincerest thanks to Amity School of Communication for their continuous support. I'm thankful to IT team for their presence and technology support. I'm thankful to marketing team. I'm especially thankful to admin team for their valuable support in the smooth conduction of this event. All other staff members and non-teaching staff members are being thanked to you all, as we can't imagine functioning without your support. It's a high time to say thank you to my dear MBA first year and MBA third year student volunteers who never hesitated in turning any stones for making this event a grand success. Once again, I thank all the members of Amity University, Patna, for their continuous support. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.